Alright, my recording is started.
All right. And how fast is the party wishing to travel?
We are going to do that magical 3 miles per hour, Dungeon Master.
Okay.
Slow it down if it feels like the horses are pushing too hard, obviously.
I already tried this last session, Double M.
Alright.
Dave went through all the paces of doing it at 2.5, 3, and 3.5, and 3 is the most we can push them without having to rest more often than we'd like.
Alright. All good. Dungeon Master, I'm marking that thing off from the spoiler.
Okay. Duly noted.
I'm pretty sure I wasted it, but just in case. I'm gonna end up needing to use it eventually anyways. Might as well get rid of it.
All right. Now, concerning the party's offer to take Raj along with them,
Yes.
he's grateful for the opportunity, but he really does need to get these goats home, and he's not sure how his parents would make do without him.
We understand.
Xenon
you-
Raj, eyes to the sky, and be safe.
Okay.
Should be Z, not D.
Travel safe and fight hard.
Yes. This becomes
I'm gonna guess a random encounter then. Okay, I thought he was like an NPC that potential quest lead. Dun dun dun. Not that we need one right now. We're looking to do a time skip. Dave is looking to do a time skip, and I'll stack in some training while I'm waiting.
Okay, party. By about let's see. I'll tell you the time because it doesn't really matter, even though your characters wouldn't know. You are going to make it to Axholm proper before 8 o'clock in the morning.
Alright.
Yes.
And there actually would have been an encounter, but y'all got to the city first.
Oh. Weren't we lucky?
Y'all were about 17 minutes ahead of it.
Neat. Alright, so party, is there any
I may have
pressing...
to go get the phone. I'll be right back.
Party, is there any pressing need we have to do together before Dave goes to his temple to do his studies and off-world?
I think we should go to Hagen's.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mama.
I'm sure you want to leave your armor with him.
Yeah, the mundane chainmail, and we can stash the wagon and horses there, hopefully.
Yep, until after I'm done training.
Right.
And I'm going to give him a few more gold. And I was going to give him donkey. Yes.
Yeah, Dave, make sure you, if you're going to be at your temple, make sure you pay someone to take care of the horses, the war horses for you.
Yes, I'm going to make a bit of a bargain with Hagen.
Me, personally, I'm going to see what type of training they have available here that doesn't cost too much, but I could throw like 10 gold pieces at it and that'll probably be fine. I'm just looking for a place to spar. I've done a fair bit of training already, but I need experience to level up. God damn, though. Fucking magic chainmail. Ooh, I could take on anyone except for him.
Except the guy I want to take out.
Well, that's what makes it a challenge. If I could accomplish it in 2 days, what type of life goal is that? This is something I might spend the rest of my life trying to do. In the
And
sense
maybe
that I'll
never
die
do
in the attempt.
Yep.
But damn it, I'm gonna try. Fuck, he probably has chainmail of the 5th order. Ugh.
Pretty sure he wears plate.
Alright, I have to get the phone and go do a thing for Mama. Her leg is hurt. It's been hurt for a while now, like a week or so. At one point today, like 6:30, I thought I was going to have to cancel session because it was hurting her so bad. Looks like I was going to have to take her to the hospital.
Ooh.
Oof.
I'm glad she's doing better than that.
Yeah, she's, what can I say? I'm not going to go into all the details. But
Giving her any medication for the pain?
Well, she's got some oxycodone. She finally broke down and took one this evening.
Alright, that might do something.
Left over from a previous prescription, so yeah, there's that.
FDA, for legal purposes, that's a lie. Mama has taken some acetaminophen and ibuprofen for the pain and swelling, and nothing else. Oh, and some water, plenty of water, because you need to make sure your liver gets enough water to help deal with medication.
Okay.
you do not have leftover oxycodone from previous medications. Nope. Use that all up as the doctor prescribed it.
Walking formation, watch schedule. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're all good there. So yeah. I'm gonna go type
Okay,
up.
yeah, sorry if I'm not shifting
Nope,
into high
it's okay.
gear real fast, guys. All right, so party again. Like I said, y'all have made it to the city of Axholme proper, and new or options, whatever y'all want to do, type it in or tell me, since this is a lot easier to keep track of than the mob.
Okay. Are we doing time skip actions or just that day actions?
Well, that's up to y'all. Do y'all want to do
I'm ready.
special things or just get into the time skip?
I don't think we got any animal shit that, like, words.
The main thing I want to do, Dungeon Masters, I want to go to Hagen's,
Okay.
and I want to see about getting him to stable my horses for my training time,
Okay.
and then go do my training.
You're also
Okay.
giving him donkey, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to. I'd have decided that I'm going to use donkey as part of the barter for him stabling my horses.
Alright,
'Cause
so
I'm
I'm
sure
just
he
gonna
can
throw
sell
in time
donkeys.
skip actions.
Okay. He'll make that agreement with you.
He'll take that, and he'll take
Yeah.
donkey in turn for stabling my horses for my training period.
Yep. But he's going to caution you, once this is done, this is done. If somebody offers me top coin, she's mine to sell.
Oh yeah, she's your donkey, bud. I hope you do good on it. I want you to make extra money. You've been a good man to us.
All right. Well, he doesn't usually take orders, but y'all have been pretty low key and haven't caused him any problems, so he's on good terms with y'all. Let's see, Hans will train, see what kind of training may be found in the city for relatively cheap, say 10 gold pieces. Not looking for employment at the moment, will pay another 6 months of rent. Stow mundane chainmail with his mundane leather. Okay. Make sure you keep track of time for that rent.
Yeah, no, we should be good until spring of next year. I just don't know the current day as opposed to it. So actually, Dungeon Master. Spring is day 0. Well, day 1. So Dungeon Master, if I throw, what is it, a gold for 4 weeks, so that's basically a month, and I'm paying another 6 plus that. If I pay another 7 gold pieces, are we good until day 1 of the next year?
I forget how much rent he was charging y'all.
No, I have that listed down. It's 1 gold piece for 4 weeks, which is essentially a month. We already paid for 6 months in advance, so we should be good from... I just don't remember the day. I'd like to note that down. So if I throw 7 gold at the problem, we're good until day 1 of the next year?
Okay, sounds good.
I'm probably underselling myself. That's fine. It's relatively cheap numbers. Okay, I'm going to break a plat with him, though, if that's good.
Yeah, he can manage that.
Okay. Paid until what year is it currently?
This is shit. Let me look in the timeline.
Sorry.
I'm sure it's there somewhere.
I have it written down somewhere. Where did I put it?
I probably have it somewhere too.
2609.
2609?
Yes.
So 2610, day 1 is when we'll need to pay rent again. Unless, of course, he wants to raise our rates like some landlord. I don't know.
What is wrong with my typing? Okay.
Thank you, Dungeon Master.
You're welcome, and thank you for having wrote that down, Gina, because I figured this shit out and wrote it down somewhere and forget where that is. Probably in the Kohal campaign. And okay. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, see, we started around like day 50 and such, and it's currently day that. So yeah, we got plenty of time.
So, did anybody level up more than one level?
Nope.
Yeah, I leveled up 3 times. I
Okay.
wish. I fucking wish.
Ray has yet to level up.
It's just
Ray.
me.
Ray, you're training in advance. Okay.
Same for
Now you're
Hans.
stopping, seeing if there's a Temple of Hibernicus here. Listening for rumors and gossip. Okay. Hibernicus. Ah.
I'm surprised Hagen didn't ask about poor Molly.
She jumped ship between here and the next
I'm sure
city.
he would have. I just hadn't thought about
Yeah.
that.
It's all good, man.
I wonder what Molly had stored there.
Let's see, copy. Hans trains for X days / weeks.
No rush, Dom. It's just a. It'll be because with Molly dead, Hagen automatically inherits all the shit that you left behind.
Uh-huh. I was actually gonna suggest we give that over to her temple shrine thing. Although if there's any gold, nah, I'm not that much of a thief.
Okay. This is funny. I'm having to make an entry in this. And here's your chances, guys. I need 2 of you to
One.
generate a random number between 1 and 64.
On a dice roll?
52.
Dice roll, computer, either way. Okay, we got a 52. And
I'm coming. 64, right?
Yes.
Wow, 52 and 53.
okay. Interesting.
Oh, damn, you actually utilized that.
Shrines.
Man, I just threw some armor in there and called it a day. You actually used that shit.
You had a lot of stuff stored or what?
Yeah, Molly.
Oh, wow.
Splint mail, a 2-hander, collapsible grappling hook, silk rope, spare signal whistles.
Okay, just so y'all know what I just did, and Double M as a dungeon master, you will love the shit out of this. So remember, back in the times of Eld, Axholm was a fledgling. It was like it was a keep, better than Akroa Meads. It was a keep, and there were merchants and various construction people, and of course a large mercenary group. And so over that 200 years, it's blossomed from what it was. So back in times of Eld, I have this whole list of all 97 cities that shows what religions have temples and what have shrines there. And well, I knew what 3 temples it had for various reasons. What the hell is wrong with my handwriting? There we go. But it stands to reason there would be a couple of shrines, so that's what y'all randomly determined.
Nice. Well, I wonder who 52 and 53 were.
Morek and Niava.
Huh.
Morek came up last night as the god of wanderers and travelers, and Niava is the goddess of birds.
Cool.
But yeah, this is where I actually had to expand my listing and add City 98 to said list. And that is done. Now, to be sure, a few of them could use a little more fleshing out, but that's good enough for now. Oh, and Dom, I did see your request earlier on information, and I just didn't handle it because I didn't feel like doing it all in text, and I knew I'd talk to you later, and it's just been a little awkward today. So I was not ignoring or snubbing you, I just dealing with shit. Okay, cool. Okay, so minor shopping, of course, what was it I told y'all about prices here at Axome?
I think they were actually mostly standard. It was the other city that they were kind of... I could be mistaken,
Yeah.
though. Now, let me check my shopping list. See, I got stuff, but I also owe people money, so I don't want to buy, like, a
Double
spyglass.
for weapons and armor? No, I don't think it's double. There's a big demand for that, but there's a lot of trade, so the price, supply and demand are pretty much being kept. Some of the finer things in life, like if you want a full-length mirror, or silk sheets, or...
That's the wrong one.
More refined, civilized goods, you might encounter some price hiccups. But for your basic goods, tools, weapons, armor, food, transport, that kind of stuff, that's going to be normally priced because they do some incredible commerce because they're on a major body of water, and yeah, not to mention those dwarves to the north. Yeah. Plus, they have access to everything downstream on the Great Snake Tongue River. A prospering city. All right, let's see. So you are listening for RNG, also buying standard things. Okay. Okay. Head to the temple after Hagen. So, Dave, you're pretty much going to be chilling at your temple and...
Yes, I have a big tithe to hand in.
Okay. So, during the time skip, you're either going to be at Hagen's or working out of the temple?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. During the time skip, Ray, you will ask around, and there are no temple or shrine to Hibernicus there. Now, it is possible there might be something out in the wilds hereabouts, but as I'm sure the party has discovered, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles outside of Axome is highly cultivated and agricultural use and heavily patrolled.
Mm-hmm.
They don't fuck around.
Yep, there isn't a lot of adventure close within the city in terms of wild pack of trolls, because, well, the champion goes out and deals with that shit.
Not only the champion, but you've got these aspiring young sellswords and whatnot that are like, ooh, I can make a name. Excuse me. Hello?
Part of the reason why I figured we should get on out of Axome for a bit, and to be fair, we did. Fontazar, fought a Dragon. I'm terrified of river travel, but...
Hold on. You left out the most important detail.
Talk to you. I'll return shortly, guys.
Okay. Left out the most important detail, Hans.
Go ahead.
The +4 chain.
That's true.
We didn't just fight a dragon. You came back with +4 chain.
I did, and about 18k in debt. Hey, for what it's worth, if you or Avrod die, I'm not paying a double share to the other person.
Oh, if Avrod dies, you're definitely paying a double share to me, bud.
Oh, hell no. Come on, dude. 18k. Where the fuck am I gonna come up with that? That isn't even the total value of what we brought in from the fucking Drago.
No. But we would split it in half. So the total value is 25, right? So you would owe me 12.5 because you would own half and I would own half.
Fine.
I'm not
deal.
going to make you pay 2/3 to me. You're not going to
Fine,
pay
fine.
Avalon's share
Alright.
and my share.
Fine. 12. 12.
Yes.
I hate
12.5.
5s.
Hey, you forgot we were adding interest to this too, didn't you?
I hate you.
Hey, Dave's neutral. He's not neutral good.
I hate you so much. Well done. Okay, so back on what I was saying though. I know we want to avoid river travel, but I
Yeah.
gotta be real here. Oslam, we take a boat. It's such a terrible idea, but we could get to E-Town before the other party does. Actually, come to think of it, they're never going there, so... Everast, Dento, Ghent, maybe not Ghent, Ephraim, Antschwo, Espy, Oakton, Slaverton. Okay, maybe not
I
Slaverton.
say if you never take a chance, you can never grow. So
Yeah,
I'm willing to get on a boat.
Well, more importantly, there's no fucking major road out of Axholm except back to Fontazar, which we just left.
Mm-hmm.
And, even if you go to Fontazar, you can go to Durkalok, which is by the Saspagirian Mountains, or you can start going towards the Great fucking Desolate. It's a brilliant strategical place to set up a fortress because there's very hard to get to you. Your north is covered by the Saspagirian Lake, I assume is what they call it, or Inbound Ocean, whatever you want to call it. Your east, again, you've got the Snake's Tongue River. And, south and west are wilderness. That's the worst thing. Yeah, if you can hold this, you can hold anything. So, a fucking boat to Oslam? Oh, God. No. Be a few days travel, assuming that's how the river flows. I actually don't know. Rivers typically go downstream, and it looks like that's down. Because, yeah, there's the Dwarven Mountains over there. It wouldn't intersect that way, probably. So odds are it flows south, which means the tide would be with us. And then, yeah, we disembark at Oslam, and there's this unnamed town village thing. We could go there, or head straight to Ephraim. I want to avoid Slaverton for obvious reasons. But, yeah, we've got a whole mess of cities over there. There's got to be some quest we can pick up over there. And worst case scenario, we can keep heading east. Alstavar, there's the Iron City of the Dwarves and the surrounding cities there. There's Gilsha, there's a whole bunch of things. Crick, who could think about Crick? And we're all the way on the other end of the continent. Hell, we could pull the party and just start going around the world counterclockwise. Well, I bet it would be clockwise. It's a big world, but we got this nice thing on the other side of the Snake's Tongues River.
I heard a story of Froghemus on the Snake Tongue River.
I'm hoping that the champion and his entourage have taken care of those.
So yeah, again, as I was saying, I believe these eager young sellswords out to make a name for themselves. And so if they hear about shit, it's like, oh yeah, let's go get this. And yeah. All right. Range it to level up. 2.5 for Hans-sized armor. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, hey, Fallout 4 finished downloading.
1 splint mail, dwarf size, 2-hander. Oh, that's what. Let's see.
Molly left.
Splint mail, 2-hander, a grappling hook, silk rope, signal whistles. Okay. Raid shopping list. Hey, Ray, as it turns out, you're hanging out with these guys. That guy Hagen, he's got a collapsible grappling hook for sale. Okay, a fire retardant backpack. Wow, that's
Well, if you want the opposite of it, I know a man. I knew him, I suppose.
Sebastian with
Uh-huh.
a fire likely backpack.
That man could set himself on fire if he was underwater. Bless his soul. I think. I don't know. He's probably in hell, come to think of it, so, yeah. I don't know. He was a weird one, that's fun.
Okay, fire retardant. Trying to think of what they would use on a leather backpack to make it fire retardant.
Soak it in oil, obviously.
Wax. Yeah, they could coat it in wax, but that's... Alright. Alright, so call it an extra gold piece for your fire retardant backpack. Custom scimitar with the handle having an engraving of an acorn. Oh. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you're looking at double the cost for that. Okay. Alright, that takes care of that real quick. Okay, Hans was... So, wait. I lost my train of thought. Ray did not level up. Dave, Hans, did you two both level up?
No, I did not.
Just
Okay.
Dave.
Just Dave. Okay, Dave. Well, that's fortunate. Okay, Dave, give me an intel check.
An intel check coming right up. I rolled a 5. That's good.
Okay, give me another one.
Okay. Yeah, I rolled a 1. That's even better.
Okay. Now give me a pair of wisdom checks.
Wisdom checks. Come on. This is the one that's high. Roll good. 11 out of, I believe I have an 18.
Okay.
Let me double check to make sure. Wisdom 17. So,
Okay, and
yep.
the second check.
Wisdom again. 13.
Okay, Dave, you're getting by with the quickest training of 2 weeks.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Now I would like.
I'm roughly using a system where it's 1 to 4 weeks, randomly determined, +1. And depending on your class is what kind of checks I'm doing. And
Cool.
since, you know, you have to learn these ancient writings and shit, and that's the intel checks. And then you've got to, of course, you're redevoting yourself to Shalif, and that's the wisdom checks. And yeah.
Okay, while I'm at the temple, I want to speak with the high priest and give him my tithe of 900. Well, it is 4 100 gold piece gems with certification, 9 50 gold piece gems with certifications, and 30 platinum pieces.
Very well, son, my son. The father will be quite proud of you. And they take your money.
Yep, that's half of everything I've earned, I tell him.
I think that's like 1200 GP if my brain did the math right there.
950.
Yeah.
And I want to ask him, I've had an idea for a new blessing. I was wondering if we could discuss perhaps how one creates a new blessing.
Oh, do you have this wrote up already?
Yes.
Have I seen it?
Yes, you have. It is in invented spells.
It is it? Okay, let me go there.
I presume it's Shalith's strength.
That is correct.
So basically, it's the magic user strength spell for your god.
But yeah, and cut in half because it's clerical.
Where's it
Well,
cut in half?
it's a die 4 instead of die 8, but it's +1, so
Oh,
it's a different
okay.
it's a different roll, right?
Yeah, instead of a random die based on the character class, you're just going with the 1d4 plus 1.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It has a minimum of 2 instead of a minimum of 1,
Hey,
but
I
it
don't
can only
mind.
go to 5.
That means if
Yeah.
you roll minimum, Han still gets a 19 if you slap this on him.
Okay, Gina, since you leveled up, you need to roll your new hit points.
Oh, I do. So
That's
I
a
will go to
d8 plus
dice
your
rolls.
con bonus.
Yep.
Dave, we really do need to talk about the viability of having Hans throw you at the enemy. You've got the hit points, dude. You'll
I
close
am
the
not a
distance.
missile weapon.
No, you're not. I'm just bringing you to them so you don't have to move your legs so
Yeah,
much.
reroll.
Yep, I'm rerolling.
There you go.
There you go.
Total of 8.
Ah, my nose.
So I need to make that adjustment on my cheat sheet here.
Look at those hit points. Ooh.
Who Dungeon Master?
Yes.
XP?
Oh, y'all want XP and shit? Damn. All right. Give me a minute here.
Oh yeah, he held all the XP from everything we fought on the way here, didn't he?
It is entirely possible. No, it isn't. In my
No.
wildest dreams, maybe I leveled up. But I'm getting closer. Yeah, yes.
You got to remember, you are the Acromeat of this party.
Actually, no. I think Daisy is Daisy, no. Ray is pretty close in level to me in terms of just level XP. And you're honestly not that far behind. Are you dual classed or single classed?
Oh, I'm single class, my friend.
Single. So yeah, no, you'll be up there with me in no time.
Mm-hmm.
And I am nowhere near a Acromeat. I'm still measuring the amount of XP I need in 5 digits. He's all the way up to 6 digits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it won't take Dave long to possibly even surpass you eventually
I wouldn't go that far.
because it's single class. But
Look, it's the
clerics get
nail
pretty
that
steep.
sticks up is the one that gets hammered down. Trust me, I know.
Says a boy named Sue.
Yeah,
I mean, a boy
Sue.
named Hans.
If I have a boy, I'll name him Bill or Frank or Bob or anything but Sue. God damn it.
All right, where
Yeah.
the hell am I missing it? It should be right here in the DMG next to fabrication of new spells.
Grills, you want what the DMG says about the fabrication of clerical spells?
Yeah, what page is that?
Give me a second, I'll come find out. I mean, I know what it says. I've read that a few
I have
times.
two, but I like being specific.
The ongoing campaign. Fabrication of magic items. Zoopity doopity, alley whoopity. Fabrication of magic items, non-standard magic items, fabrication. Chance of success, conditions, spell research. I'm going all the way up to creation of holy unholy water. Receptacles, limit of creation, defilement, drinking. Poison, potions, scrolls. Fabrication of other magic items. Fabrication of magic items by illusionists. Charmed. Non-standard magic
Yeah,
items.
see, I'm missing it. It should be right in there someplace.
Yeah, I'm poking at it. Command words. Spell in. Oh, that's only gonna have 1,000,000 results.
Oh well.
Yeah, pretty much. I dimly recall it's basically a similar amount of gold as the other thing, but instead
No,
of
it's not because you're
no, that's
you're
right.
at a temple. You have to be at a temple with a this and a that and the other, which he is. Okay.
Oh,
and it does
I found.
because it's clerical.
Yeah. No. So I don't think they actually had a method for inventing new clerical spells. I'm seeing the fabrication of other magic items for clerics and druids making a magic item.
Yeah, but that's not this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
Okay, that's a thing though. All right. Out of character? No. Dice rolls. That's done.
Holy fuck! Wait a second. Grills, it looks like spell research is meant for clerics or magic users.
No, get the fuck out of here.
Anything better than 9th level spells, quotations, 7th level with respect for clerics, is in the category of impossible. Cost of research. It assumes the researcher has a laboratory, or a shrine in the case of a cleric. Fucking Gygax. Chance of success. The base chance is blah plus blah. Wisdom with respects due to clerics. Oh my god, it's actually... Gygax just threw the same thing at clerics and said, yeah, that's good. Fucking hell.
Okay. Alright.
Fucking hell.
Alright, so you're talking to... sorry. So you're talking to this higher level cleric at the temple.
Mm-hmm.
There, Dave. And
Yes.
he tells you that it will take quite a bit of time and prayer and meditation. And you must be very specific, and you may have to do some fasting and this and that and the other. And it may take you weeks, even months, depending on the parameters of your spell and whether or not the father deems it worthy.
I am devoted to this cause. I believe that he will find it worthy, and I would like to try and commune with him by any means necessary. If it requires me to fast, I will fast. If it requires me to pray, I will pray.
Okay, well then he will get some other clerics, and they will sit down at a table with you and discuss what it is, the spell that you've envisioned. And they're going to sit there and play devil's advocate, kind of one way and the other, to see if they think the father would approve. And as I've read your spell description, they will decide that they see no justification for saying it is against the teachings of Shalif. But you would need to be careful in its application, because let me look at it again. Yes. Bestowing this blessing on someone who is not true to the faith, that could be bad. Or potentially bad. If they are truly in good sight of the Father, then there's no problem. But if somebody pretended and tricked you into bestowing this honor on them, that would be bad.
I would not bestow this to anyone I do not deem a true servant of the Father.
Well then. All right. Then they will wish you luck. They've advised you as much as they can, but it is now up to you to
do the praying, fasting.
Yeah, you're on your own with that. But let them know. They want to know if that works out.
Mm-hmm. If it works out, I'm sure they would like to try it too.
They might.
Fucking Gygax actually just said, yeah, no, this is good for clerics too.
Yeah, look, see, I can see screwing your magic users a little like that with all of the extraneous cost. But here's a guy who just Tiff 50% of his income. Okay, clerics cannot amass that kind of money until they start saving up to build their own shrine or temple.
Yeah, and I
Or,
like your
you
thing
know.
better. Treat it like inventing a magic item where it's basically the same thing. You have to make sure this is a true thing that you got once, and then there's a
Yeah.
period where you basically have to check each time.
That
How long
must
does
be
it
what I
take?
was thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, and so the rest of the party is cool with a little bit more time skip while Dave and Devers. I mean, okay. And Dave, how long will you stay at this? Dave?
I said I will stay at this until I either can't take it anymore and I'm dropping on the floor, or until it is done.
Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk like dinosaur.
Okay. Dave, after a period of time, roll a d20 for me.
D20. Oof, net 20.
Ah! Dave, I'm sorry that after 2 weeks' time, your fortitude breaks, and no.
I shall try again someday, Shalif, but for
Okay.
now, I will move on.
Okay.
If you want more time out of character, Gina, I'm cool with a bit more time. Clock's ticking for me, but not nearly as bad as it is for Chromade.
God damn. Thanks, Dave. Double M, I've got an open paper cut. Could you hand me that lime juice?
Right next to the salt, right?
Yeah.
I'll take a full day's break
Yeah.
and rest, and then I will go back to the temple and try again for another 2 weeks.
Okay. So at the end of those 2 weeks, give me that wisdom check. Try not to roll a 20 this time.
Oh my god, it's another 20!
Ah! Okay,
The
that's
dice
4
said
weeks.
fuck and you. Oh.
Wow.
Dave is convinced Shalif is telling him to move on.
Okay.
2 nat 20s, that's move on territory.
That is
Another
one in
time.
400 chance.
Wow. Pretty bad. Okay. So after 6 weeks in the city, because you trained for 2 weeks and you tried for the spell for a total of 4 weeks.
Yep.
All right. Plus a day.
Yes.
So that's 6 times 7 is 42 plus 1, 43.
So
This
43
puts
days
y'all
of time
at-
skip?
Yep, so this would be day 192.
Okay, I'm marking that down for later when it's like, Hans, how long have you trained? Now I know this is 43 days.
Okay.
Right. Meet back up with the gang at Hagen's, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. By the way, let's see, Ray. Yes, here's my clipboard. I'm just looking at this. Okay, Ray is that. And Hans is that. Okay, yeah, Hans, you will find an abundance of possible teachers in the city of Axholm. Go figure.
Yep.
All right.
Again, I'm not throwing a whole lot at it. I was talking 10 gold for
So-
the entire time skip. This is just general training, physical exercise, keeping my skills going.
All right. So Ray, if you're doing 20 gold piece a week, remember that's 6 weeks.
2 plat off.
And since y'all are doing this, make sure you make a note of how much training you've got. That way, when it comes around to your next leveling up, I can keep that in sharp account, and you'll have those numbers to provide me.
Alright. So I wonder... I'm gonna post a thing I'm
Oh,
wondering.
I gotta change another number because you leveled up. I did your hit points, but not your level.
This, other than the Dwarven Caravan, which I excluded, was various possible jobs we found in Axholm. Wonder how many of these are still active. That dungeon's probably still there. Ship hands needed for a trip to the upper lake. Yeah, probably already passed by now, but we'll see if maybe there's one going to the city on the other side of the river. Oslam. Froghemoth's on the river south. Let's hope that one passed too. You know, it's been a bit. Scouts
Is there
needed to
no
range west.
is there no second level healing spell for a cleric?
No, there is not.
Ah,
Not in the book. Some clerics have prayed for and gotten cure moderate wounds. D10 plus 1. Up to the dungeon master, of course, if he wants to do that.
I've been allowing it on the main campaign. So, yeah, I'll allow that here as well.
okay,
It doesn't seem to be breaking game mechanics any.
good.
Okay, the Froghemoths on the river going to the south, that seems to be, how shall I put this? Not an acute, a chronic condition. Okay.
Chronic condition. That means
some-
it's really bad.
Now, remember, like a medical term, there's an acute case and there's chronic. So, acute, it happens once, there's a flare up, and then it goes away. Chronic is, wow, you either get cured or you've got that shit for life. Okay.
It's a nest.
So, well, look at how big the river is and the
That's
lake that feeds the river.
What are you thinking, Hans? Where are we going to travel to next for adventure and glory? Your last place sure brought us some.
Okay.
Yeah, if we got lucky.
Ship hands needed for a trip to the upper lake, that happens from time to time. Okay.
I was just noting things from before, hoping some of them were still active, or we'd get more things, you know?
Okay, spies needed for unknown. Yeah, that one is quietly went away.
Alright, I'll mark that one off. Scouts needed to range west.
That one's still open.
Alright, Froghemoths are still there, ship hands from time to time, and I'm willing to bet that dungeon is still up.
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck.
Now, if I need to think up a couple of other things real quick, I can do that. Because, yeah, I'm trying to give you all a little bit of variety and choice here.
Yep. I was hoping we could take a boat to Oslam, but those Froghemoths might be a problem, and I don't know what I know of Froghemoths, but I know what Double M knows of Froghemoths. I don't think we can take them.
Well, y'all decide while I go get a cigarette, and hopefully some serendipity gets me.
Not even with Avrod with us?
Avrod is good. Let's be clear about that. He's freaking awesome. But I don't know if he's that good.
I think he's on par with Hans.
He might be better than me.
Maybe slightly because he has more magic items.
We'll see. You know, we're not doing that question of who would win against who in a fight. That's the
No. I'm just trying to say for toughness to go up against something.
The thing is, you never want to fight a Froghemoth in its water. I'm gonna throw out a guess here. I know very little of these creatures in character and out, but I'm willing to bet we don't want to fight them on their turf. And if we go on a boat, that's their fucking turf. But we can't stay here in Axholm. This place isn't exactly boring, but there's nothing to do here that's like really good. Okay. There's no dragons to loot. Can
we somehow maybe walk down the river and avoid the Froghemoths by taking a berth through the forest or something?
Here, let me give you kind of a glance at the map.
I think I have the map.
You probably do, but here, let me get you a thing.
So if it's a nest, I would have to say that they probably control that entire river.
Maybe. We'll have to see. So if you see in maps, I posted a more wider area view of us. This is on my Hans's map, which I'm happy to bring out for you all. So we're here in Axholm, you know, upper middle. The hope was take a boat to Oslam. You, of course, see that slightly lower on the other end of the river. If we were to just follow the river, we could get all the way to, say, Sheer and then Sluice. I imagine they have boats that go across easy enough, and they're probably Froghemoth 3. The issue, of course, is that that's a lot. And, like, we're talking 100, 200, 300-ish foot miles.
And I've got the horses now.
We got the horses, but think about it. That's riverside travel. That's not going
I
to be
know that's
easy.
not going to happen. No, that's not going
Cliffs
to
and
happen.
forests and God knows what's else. This
Oh,
forest is
Fontazar is
big.
the only way out.
Yeah, no, Axholm is strategically placed, but it's no city of the temples where it's a nexus of ley lines. This is a fortress, not a utopia. Not a
Hmm.
central piece, which is a good thing and a bad thing depending on what you're looking for. I was hoping we could just use that river and get to Oslam and take our chances, but if the frog hemoths are still active, that's annoying. Maybe we try and
So why
find a
don't
heavily armed warship.
maybe we just take the road back to Fontazar down to
Oh, but look at that road.
Macedonus?
Look at that road, and we're retracing our steps. Ugh.
I know, I know.
Plus, that
But
gets towards the
So,
Great Desolate, and speaking as the Denalia Dungeon Master, fuck the desert.
so I do not know how much Ray knows about the frog hemoths, but and I don't know much of the frog hemoths myself, but I do know that frogs, which is something they take inspiration from, are known to make basically their nest in a body of water, but spread pretty fucking far away from that.
Uh-huh.
So I would have to say that I could place money that if we decide to go just down the riverbed, well, down the riverside, we would run into it. Either
Thing
way.
is, without a boat, we're not crossing that river. That's miles across. Tens of miles at
Oh, yeah,
points.
no, we are not crossing that by
So
far.
our options, as I see them, are A, we take a boat and pray for the best to Oslam. B, we head to Fontazar, down, and then to Sheer Sluice, which again, it's just take a boat and cross and hope that it's good down there. I'm going to regret this, I know. It's risky, but you made a point earlier, Dave. The safe path is also the boring one. So
But
I would suggest we take a boat from Axholm to Oslam and see what our fortunes lie there, assuming, of course, we don't get any cool quests that the DM is currently typing up that are worth doing.
I think you're correct.
Exterminators
But
wanted. High risk only need apply. Exterminators. I don't suppose this advertisement specified what needed to be exterminated.
No, it didn't.
Fuck. High risk. Only need apply. Anything else of note? Not too much else. It is Axholm, it's not like this place is overfilling with quests.
I was going to say, Double M, though, we can assume that any boat that is going down the river to Oslo understands that they may be dealing with frog hemoths and they're ready for it.
That's what I'm hoping, but we'll make sure it's got some ballista on top,
Yeah,
We are
it's a
not blah
chronic
blah blah
problem.
talent cross reference. We're actually a sane people here. Your boats are allowed to have ballista on them.
Without being drugged into a war.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe we'll see if ship hands are needed for a trip to Oslam. Sound good to everyone? You all okay with this? Avra, that includes you because you're sticking with us until I pay you back, unless you're absolving me of my debt. Yeah, obviously not.
I would really appreciate if we can get the horses and wagons transported there as well.
It might be better to stable them here.
I might have to, but we'll try. We'll see what the
Horses
ships
and
can do for
wagons
us.
can go on ships, but you're talking barges at that point, I'm hoping for something closer to a warship in terms of what we're taking across, but then again, warship.
On a river. Yeah, we'll see.
This is no river. Do you see how wide this fucking thing is?
Oh yeah, 10 miles at the narrow point.
Coal has huge rivers.
20 miles at the wide points.
I've had to cross one of them once as another group of people. It was not fun.
Actually, if you look down there at the E in Snakes, it's actually 30 miles wide there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see
Of
that.
course, the thing about the rivers is that when they go wider, they tend to flow a little less rapidly. Also, Grills, this is probably verifiable. The river between Axholm and Oslam flows from the north to the south, right? It's not vice versa.
Hold on, guys. Yeah. Oh,
Jeez, my nose. Can't decide if it's congested or not, so it keeps dribbling.
Okay. Well, I'm glad it's not as bad. Okay, so Double M, as you were saying.
So, the river that runs between Axholm and Oslam, it runs from the north to the south, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So at least we'd have the boat on our side. You know, the river running our way. This exterminator thing is interesting, but I get the feeling it might be above our pay grade if they're saying high risk only need apply. Do we want to check that out, and then, assuming it's nothing that we think we could handle, just turn it down and go on the boat? Or try for the boat?
Let's check it out. We can find out the information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because depending on what it is, we might be able to take it.
Alright, in that case, Dungeon Master, after, you know, we've done our trainings and so forth, and recuperated and discussed what we've learned, we will investigate the extermination job, and see what that is about.
Okay, y'all have done your time skip, and you're going to check out the exterminators wanted. Okay.
Mhm.
The thing does at the end say, inquire at the Red Banner Inn.
The Red Banner, we know that one. I think we do,
So-
at least.
This should be day 193.
Alright, thank you, Dungeon Master. 193. We're good. Still got half the year left before our rent is due. And I can always just pay him again. Alright, so yeah, Dungeon Master, I believe we've been to the Red Banner Inn before.
You have.
In that case, Hans will lead the way. Bertha in hand, and keeping my head on a swivel. Yeah, DM had a couple different than usual items that I might consider buying, but those can wait till after session, I suspect, so I won't slow you down here.
Okay. If you're sure.
It's probably negligible. For one thing, I'm trying to save my money. I do owe other people money, and I don't want to constantly be in debt. Otherwise, the next sword we find that's like a +5 Vastra sword, Avrod comes in and is like, hey, you already owe me. How will I ever defeat Lord Grest?
All right, party. Give me a perception check.
Oops. I rolled a 10, I'm putting it in dice rolls.
Okay, Hans, you'll notice.
Yeah, kind of. If you're in the mood for a brownie.
Dave, no.
Well, I generally don't like that, but I just thought I'd ask if that brings.
Dom, my brother in Christ.
This would indicate
Not a brownie, but
Failure.
if I don't see something soon.
See, I need to start yelling at him in German, but I can't actually speak fluent German.
And Fixer, hey Fixer.
Ah, all it took was Fixer joining. Hey, Fix.
All right, so Dave, yeah, you're gonna miss out on this, but Hans and Ray, y'all are gonna notice on your way to the Red Banner, just about the time y'all are getting there, there's these group of guys. Looks like about 10 or so of them, and they're kind of hanging tight together, and they keep glancing over at y'all like they're watching you.
Alright, head on in with the party.
Okay.
As
They
we
look
are
friendly.
entering the tavern, I'll mention to them, casual conversational tone, that we might have trouble on the way out, and we think a group of ruffians spotted us and might try and rob us later.
Yeah, Avrod noticed that, and he thinks they're up to no good too.
Deal with that after we see about this job, or at least where the job needs to be.
Aye, a fight you say, Hans?
No, they're idiots. They're gonna pick a fight with us. You know, I'm 8.5 feet tall. You'd think they would know better than to fuck with me. But I just think
Rail
we'll be kind. Yeah. Alright, so Dungeon
Right.
Master.
Yes.
Once wir in the inn, we will speak to the proprietor and mention the bounty. And also, if it's dinner time, we will buy dinner. Which is a good point. I need to mark off money for food. Fuck.
Yeah, y'all should do that.
Alright,
That
we
might take you a
had
little bit.
43 days time skip. 3 meals a day
Uh-huh.
becomes 120 plus 9,
Do your
129.
math while I go get a couple of drags real
Okay.
quick.
Dave's the cheap bastard. He ate the temple's food the entire time.
Oh, I'm sure they were happy with that.
Yeah, I gave them 950 gold. They should be.
Times.
So this is the Hans?
Zihans. He did not die. He was transported to Axholm. And he
Very
has had
good, very
many adventures.
good to hear.
Mm-hmm. This was 64.5, 64 GP, 1 EP. Oof, yeah, no, food eats so much of my gosh darn budget. So let's see, that was that 64.5, so that would bring me 35 and a half. So I get the Electrum back, and then the remaining 35 I think I should be safe to convert into... Let's make that 10 gold, 5 more gold, and then 30 gold translates to 6 platinum. Oh yeah, Fixer Hans is doing great. I thought you knew about the Hans campaign already, but yeah. He was transported to Axholm as the Corvus were transported there, and Grill said eventually we get around to running him, and Gina actually asked if we could do it Sundays. He's Dave Davidoff, and Dom found out and is currently playing Ray, a druid. And yeah, we've had some adventures. Hans now wears chainmail armor. Magic chainmail. Of the 4th Order. Yes!
Oh, some good stuff.
Oh yeah. And currently he's got a loner magical bastard sword in case we encounter some werewolves or something, but he's either going to buy it or find a better one soon. Yes. The half-giant with the miniature ballista and the German accent lives. Although he does believe firmly that the party perished in that thing and that one of the mages sacrificed themselves to teleport him to safety, so forever they will be in his thoughts, mournfully. Unless John jumps over to here, in which case he'll be like, John D? Is it John D? Am I insane? What? What? Why do you have eyebrows?
So Fixer clued in that Hans is still alive.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, good to hear. We were worried about him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
just don't let the cat out of the bag to the public in general.
Oh,
No, that's
yeah.
fine. I understand.
I can only imagine the shit show. Alright, Dungeon Master, I'm basically marked off. You see how I paid 1 Electrum per meal should be enough for fair eating. Not great,
yeah.
not terrible. So I took a 100 gold piece gem, split it, and gave myself back platinum and gold coins to fill in the difference.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. You know, you're on the honor system.
So yeah, if we're close to dinner time, in addition to inquiring about the job, we'll buy dinner. Because I'm not
Well,
sure
it's
what...
going to be closer to lunch.
Alright, same difference. I'll
Okay.
splurge a whole gold on lunch. Ha ha ha.
So y'all go in, you inquire with the proprietor, and they'll say, "All right, hang on a minute." And he calls into the back. He calls out the name, Sharon.
Sharon.
It's people. It's people about that job. And a few moments later, from out of the back, you don't know if it's kitchen or what, but this fellow comes out. Let me see here. I gotta find him real quick. This won't take but a moment, though. Okay. All right. So, Charon, he comes out. He's a swarthy-looking fellow, about 5'10", a little on the heavy side. You can't tell if it's fat or muscle. He's got an eye patch over his right eye.
Okay.
And of course, the two of them converse for a minute, like, which one's in this lot here? And the party currently numbers 4, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Human?
Huh?
Human, I assume? Human male?
Looks human. Yeah. Male. Yeah. And why don't you guys grab a table over in the corner? I'll be with you in a moment.
Grab a table in the corner. I should totally pull a meat and back to the wall. You know, hand resting
Yeah.
on Bertha's trigger, but Bertha's a little too big to squeeze under the table, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's an on the table, taking up most of the space kind of thing.
I'll just
Yeah,
wait till you hear one of my request items. You're gonna laugh. Did we
Okay.
ever do anything with those pieces of plate mail from the Jackal wares? Do we still have those?
Let's see if they're still on my character sheet.
Alright, because the
Grave
gems,
and
jewelry.
shoulder plate. They are on my character sheet still.
Alright, in that case, that's yours, or technically party loot. Fuck it, sell it, keep the money, split it with us. I give 0 shits. I'm taking it off the party funds because, alright, we already split up the gems, jewelry, and coin.
It's just one grave and one shoulder plate. We don't know if it's magical or not. We're gonna find out eventually.
I'm pretty sure you need a full suit for it to be magical.
All right. So a few moments later, this Charon, he approaches your table. He's got a platter with, a common wooden platter with 5 mugs on it, and he sets it down. He says, "I needed a break anyhow. I'm thirsty. You fellows up for some ale?"
I'll nod and take a tankard.
Okay. Hans, these are not those supersized mugs that you like, but they're still proportionately pretty good.
I'll hold it, the dainty style of, I can only fit
Okay.
2 of my fingers in here, and the other 2 just kind of hang loosely off the edge.
Okay. So looking at your lot, as he is eyeballing you all up and down. Let's see, Hans, you're in your chainmail. You're 8 feet tall. Dave, what kind of armor are you in?
Oh, let me check my character sheet to make sure I don't say it wrong. I believe it's full plate. Nope. Let me check. It is plate mail.
Plate mail. Ray, you're in leather. Avrod is in leather. Says, okay, and he pulls out of his, an inside pocket of his leather vest that he's wearing. He pulls out some paper that's been folded, and he unfolds it and starts looking at it. He says, okay, 4 of you. Is there any more, or is this it?
This is it. So if we could
Okay.
see about hiring more if needed.
Can you fellows climb?
Pretty well. Are we talking trees, towers?
Ropes and cliffs.
Nah, that doesn't sound like a job for me.
Dave, where's your sense of adventure? Let's hear the man out.
Okay, there's a cliff involved. The brain fart, I can't think. The guy that hires you. Employer, yes. The employer in this case has a problem with some creatures coming up a cliff face and causing problems. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, that he needs somebody to go down, find their burrow, and exterminate them.
What type of creatures are they?
Some kind of bug.
Bug.
Big bugs.
Any other details on them?
I can get more details, but I've got to know that you guys are serious before I do.
Makes
that.
sense. Alright. Well, companions? Let's not waste the man's time if we're not. I could do that. We'll need, the details of, how far away from the city is this, that kind of deal. More general,
Oh.
but...
Okay, that much he would know that I have to look at a thing. to
Yeah,
tell you.
party. I'm willing to try, but we'd have to be careful. Very careful.
Dave will not climb down no cliff.
Dave, think about it. Even if you slip and fall, you'll break your neck. You'll just regenerate.
You're not wrong. But damn it, it's still scary.
No, I hear that. Maybe it's just me. I've never been afraid of heights.
Do you know how hard it is to climb with this armor on?
I'll take the armor off.
Yeah, right.
I kid. Yes. Alright, no, that's a fair point. Bugs that climb a cliff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fight
We
bugs
don't
on the
have
side
a
of the
mage
cliff.
with feather fall. We don't have any slippers of spider climbing. I do believe this party might be ill-fitted for this particular job. Our best bet would be having Hans or someone strong, maybe a couple mules tied to some rope. Then we let ourselves down carefully, but that's just asking for troubles.
Charon can tell y'all that it's about 75 miles as the crow flies, but there's no straight road to it.
Through the forest.
You'd have to go through the forest, or you'd have to head towards Fontazar and then go south. And you've still got quite a bit of forest to go through.
Alright. Well, Charon?
This does head us back towards Fontazar. And a new quest, plus getting us out and about. I don't know.
Yeah, Charon. Unfortunately, I think we might not be the right fit for this job, all things considered. Thank you for the drink, and I will tip him an Electrum.
Alright, thank you.
But I don't think it will work out here unless companions. I'm tipping that Electrum either way.
Okay, well, enjoy the ales, and at least it's been a pleasant diversion and not a waste of time.
Oh, hey, is there
I'd
any
love to-
town guard station nearby here? I'm pretty sure some bandits are going to try and jump us as soon as we walk out that door.
Really.
Yeah, saw them giving us the squinty eye earlier.
I could send a boy.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, finish your ales while you wait. And, yeah, he'll take his mug and disappear back behind the bar and whatnot.
You thought I forgot about the bandits, didn't you, Drills?
They weren't bandits.
Brigands, ruffians, whatever you want to
Okay.
call them.
Okay, they were brigands.
There you go. Now, they might still be there, they might not be. It doesn't really matter. I suspect
And I
they're
would-
probably not too much of a danger as long as we're smart.
Dave wanted to fight, damn it.
Well, if you want, I'll fight you.
You want to fight?
No, we'll train later.
Take off
I-
that
I
fancy
feel-
armor.
I feel like there's going to be like a nasty bar fight coming soon.
No, here, I ordered food. Let me finish my food before you start tearing the place up. And we like this place. We like it. So we're not. No.
Damn it, I don't have a monk. I don't have the ability to actually make a bar fighting character. Though I think we can all agree that monks would be the best bar fighting class.
Imagine a quarter troll monk, a regenerating monk bar fighter.
I do have a quarter troll monk that has gotten the seal of approval,
Hmm.
but they're not coming in anytime soon.
Well, party, yeah,
So-
no, I'm not saying we couldn't do it, but it would be a bit tougher. It would be nice if we had someone who had the fly spell or spider climb or feather
You're
fall,
not
you
wrong.
know.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have either.
guys. I'll go ahead and spill the beans on this one since y'all are going to pass it up, and it's going to be dealt with before you can come back to it. Yeah, there's this reclusive guy who's got a keep out there, and it's built on the edge of a cliff,
Oh fuck.
and these carrion crawlers keep coming up and,
Oh
and
fuck.
running amok.
Oh fucking hell, Chris. Well done. Well done. Bravo. Unfortunately, that does transfer off-world about where the keep is. Nope. Shut it up. Nope. Do not think of it. So, Dungeon Master, we'll be looking after lunch to see about any ships that are willing to help us book passage to Oslam.
Preferably one that can take a horse and
Yeah, no,
Is
so our
that-
requests are going to be rather varied. He wants to take 2 horses and a wagon. I'm personally looking for something that's armored enough that if the Froghemoths show up, I'm not the only ballista on board.
So a combination of both. And if we can't have both, I will end up having to stable the horses.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could. I don't think we have the funds together to pull this off, but we might be able to see if we could rent a galley. I believe that's how you say it.
I'm good with whatever as long as it has enough, arms to sustain itself. Hopefully most of these things already do. We're not the first adventurers to ever come by, and those aren't the first Froghemoths, so.
Okay, so y'all are looking to book passage.
Yes, passage to Oslam.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Okay.
South and on the other end of the river. I'd walk it, but there's a river in my way.
I will have to change out some of my spells before we leave, if that's all right.
You're
Well,
a
actually,
druid. Your spells
Yeah,
are
I
gifts from
can't
your
do that.
god. How are you
Never
changing those
mind.
out?
Yep, never mind. I'm tired. I looked at my feet weirdly.
Yes, I've been stuck with slow poison for quite some time.
Look, something's gonna poison us. That thing will be worth its weight in fucking plat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we both have slow poison,
Good.
and I
Good.
planned on getting.
Look,
I also did plan on getting some I don't know exactly what it would be called, but I'm assuming there are some herbs that can help slow the effects of some poisons. But
that's a good point, actually. Dungeon Master. I have Dungeon Master level knowledge, of course, on various strategies and so forth for dealing with lycanthropy and so forth. Various herbs that reportedly have those things. So what do our characters know with regards to that? Hans does not want to become a werewolf.
Yeah, you've heard tales about Belladonna and Wolfsbane, but you're not really sure.
Not really sure.
has Ray heard anything about these? Considering she is a druid
That was
of
actually going to be my next question. Hey Ray, you're a plant and animal focused person. Maybe you know this.
Okay, so yeah, Ray, you should have some level of knowledge about the uses of Belladonna and Wolfsbane for those things that they pertain to.
I'd
Sorry,
probably
I'm a
buy a
little
sprig of each, just in case. Call me paranoid, I just have a really bad feeling about them.
Werewolves. Were-sharks.
They exist.
would
I've
not-
read the fucking entry on them. Goddamn, I don't know which sadistic bastard. Oh wait, it was me.
Were sharks?
Yes.
And we're going on the water?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, no, this is the
Oh.
thing we shouldn't really do, but we're gonna have to do at some point or another because Axholm is so boxed in. Just avoid the water whenever possible. The Dungeon Master has too many monsters that are akin to the depths. I'm hoping since this is technically a river, granted a wide one, we'll be okay. There shouldn't be any krakens that can fit in here. In the inland ocean, absolutely, there's a kraken in there, guarantee it. But we're not in there.
Okay. So y'all are looking to buy passage on a ship that can carry your 2 war horses and wagon in addition to the 4 of you, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally, it should be, of course, well capable of defending itself. Should it come under attack of, say, Froghemoths or Krakens.
Okay. Now, where is that name thing of mine?
Or leviathans.
I'm pretty sure those aren't here. Grust would have killed it already. It's like there aren't going to be any dragons in the area, but a dragon, okay, that's small enough. Frygrest hasn't gotten around to it yet. Fucking hell, I just realized where that dragon turtle shell came from.
The lake.
Yep, the lake. He goddamn fished it out of the lake, and they made a building out of it.
Yeah,
Damn, that's
did I put
nice.
that in common info?
I think the fact that it exists was an out of character at some point. BRB, I gotta go bathroom.
Out of character, he said. Let's see. Oh, geez, that's going to take some looking, isn't it?
Well, while we wait for Hans to get back, I will have a out of character asked question for the party. character. Where do you think would be a good place for the Hans party to, like, what's the word? To kind of set up base of operations?
You're asking me?
I have returned.
No, that was me. That was
Oh.
me just talking in general.
It
Because I know
appears we have already done so, Don.
Kind of not. We could ditch Axholm easily enough and set up in Oslam or something else. I like Axholm, though. At the end of the day, Hans's goal is going to be to return there and challenge Grest, but until then, he's good being free-floating. It'd be
Now,
nice...
this might-
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. This would be a very long trek, but where's the place that could work? But
What if we just went
Ghent?
Purius to the Ghent? Yeah, no, I was thinking that's a dwarven kingdom. I assume I know Ghent and Eton are dwarvish cities. I believe so is
Turtle Shell
Oakton.
Inn. It is in common info.
Mhm.
Yes.
Dave really wants to stay near. Like, Axholm is where he wants to come back to the temple.
Ghent is a good place. And this one, while would be a very, very long trek, however, I could see Dave wanting to come here since it is his holy city, Matern.
Matern? Isn't that on the other side of the continent?
Oh yeah, it's a very long trek. That's why I said it would be a very long trek.
It would be a great place to visit, no doubt, but the
Yeah.
temple at Axholm is still my temple.
I'm good poking around to the east for a bit, seeing what lies east of Oslam and so forth, because undoubtedly there'll be other monsters and treasures and so forth.
Did we have any luck booking Passage, Dungeon Master?
Yes, y'all kind of digressed there, so I was letting y'all go. You will find a ship by inquiring about on the docks and whatnot, and one of their mates will introduce the party to the captain, one Captain Reginaldo.
Reginaldo. Alright, mark him
He's-
down
he's
on my
a large-
NPC list.
He is a large man. He appears to be quite mature, not elderly or old, but mature, and stout, well-built, sharp eyes. And so talking with him, he'll inquire, okay, you wish to book passage for yourselves, your wagon, and your horses.
Yes, sir.
And you wish to go as far as Oslam.
Aye.
All right. Then the fee is up front. And if anything happens and you lose property, I'm not responsible. Be
Understood.
a bit of a squeeze. Do not bother the crew that are below decks. You'll sleep on the deck. And if we're attacked, you'll be expected to help defend the ship.
Aye, sir. I too am a cleric. I have the ability to heal someone if they're hurt, so
That's good to know.
I can be of great help.
All right. And again, do not go below decks.
Of course.
Indeed.
That's where all the
We can make
slaves
room
are.
for the horses in the hold so that they don't spook and go over. But you all in your wagon above deck.
Alright.
All right.
What is the cost?
Okay, the wagon and the horses, that's cutting into his hold space, and he's damn near got a full hold as it is. So that's going to be 10 gold.
All right.
Dave, that's
And-
on you. You want to
Yep.
bring them, you pay for them.
And for each head, otherwise, it's 3 gold.
I will pay.
I think
I
I
will
can
give
agree to
him-
that.
2 platinum pieces.
Okay. And he will lead you to his ship, which
Right.
I can go ahead and enter this into the common info channel now. The Plunder.
Hmm.
It looks to be a cargo ship, judging by its width and its deep hull. But party, you will notice that he has ballista mounted on this craft. It has 2 sails, although currently the sails are furled, as the wind is blowing mostly north in these parts at this time of year. It does look though it's equipped with oars as well.
That's why we're not to go below deck, undoubtedly. We don't want to disturb the rowers.
Yes, you are not to interact with the crew below decks.
Oh, I know why, but I can't say it.
Because they're slaves.
Yeah, we don't use that word here. They are indentured servants with a lifetime warranty.
There you go.
Okay. Now, Oslam is not his destination, but he will stop there since that's where y'all want to go. He is going further to the south before returning this way later in the year.
Purely out of curiosity, Captain, how far south you going? Sheer? Sluice? Further?
Way further.
Wow. Must be all the way at the end of the Snake's Tongue River.
I'm going as far as Slamus.
Slamus. Wow, the other end of the Great Desolate. And Dungeon Master, I'm just making conversation here. Feel free to choo-choo if you'd like. How often do you do these types of journeys? You know, these voyages.
As often as I need money for rum.
There we go. Alright, well, I'm not gonna pester the Dungeon Master with questions, although Hans could chat this guy's ear off. What he's actually doing is trying to figure out how experienced of a sailor this guy is, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, I do this every year. Okay. Oh, this is my 3rd time doing it. Dungeon Master, do I notice any ship-mounted ballista, etc., etc.? Obvious
He
defenses.
does it just for the rum. You know he's the best sailor ever.
Har, fiddle-dee-dee.
Okay, so, party, do you have said horses and wagon with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then he'll instruct you to wait here on the dock, and he'll have some of his mates start loading them on, and you can either hang around until the following morning, or you can come back, but they sail at first light with or without you.
I would like to say the party should spend the night on the ship.
I want to quickly go back to Hagen, tell him we're going out of town again, make sure he's good, and that we're all paid up front, and yeah. If you want, I can do that solo. It shouldn't be too far of a walk, hopefully, and if something happens, or you all can go with me.
Well, I think we can go with you and come back before nightfall.
Okay. And yeah, we'll make sure that wagon's tied down good, because we're going to be sleeping on that, and dear God, I hope I'm not seasick.
The big man seasick.
Oh, by the way, just so y'all know, after you nursed your ales and whatnot, a group of what looked to be the City Watch did show up, and they came in and got some ales themselves. And if I imagine the party would have looked outside, and there was no sign of those guys that y'all saw previously.
If that was an encounter, I warded it off just by mentioning, oh, hey, by the way, there's going to be a kerfuffle when we leave here.
You called the cops, man. That's not cool.
Oh,
Snitches
that's
get
totally cool.
stitches.
I prevented
Snitches
an
get
incident.
stitches.
I should be a diplomat. A foreign diplomat to the Dwarven Kingdom. There should be in character there.
Some people in Axholm would say, "Pussy, pussy."
Nah,
Dave would say, I want him
Diplomat.
in the fight.
I'm sure they would. They're welcome to say it to my face. No. Yeah, no. There are some encounters where it's generally worth just calling the police on them, because it's like, really? Some one-hit type brigands, if that? That's not worth the time. But then we waste the time talking about possible bases of operation. Let's see if the Frog Hemoths don't get us. So yeah, Dungeon
Alright.
Master, the plan is
They were gonna follow y'all outside of the city because, yeah, I mean, this place is big on law and order and personal space, and but y'all didn't head west anyhow, so
Mhm.
these guys are not gonna rent another boat to follow after you.
Yeah, they're not that stupid. So yeah, Dungeon Master, other than, you know, making sure we get any last minute shopping done and going to Hagen and being like, yep, heading on a boat to Oslam, we might be out for a bit. We're all paid up till the 1st of next year, which is like a full 6 months. Well, you know, 2 seasons from now. Take care.
Okay.
We'll see you
All right,
before too
so-
long.
y'all head back to Hagen's stablery and tell him what you needed to tell him. He says, "Okay, I'll keep a good watch on your possessions that are here. Keep them locked up, and if you do not return, then well, I'll make sure I sell that stuff to people who will take good care of it." And
The chain armor was from, and I'll give him the name of the thing. He might be interested in buying it back.
okay,
That being said, if you sell that and I'm still alive, I'm gonna be ticked off.
that would be. Wait, I don't see that. I don't.
Yeah,
see
no,
that
that's
name.
somewhere. I don't think it's on my character sheet, unfortunately. I forgot to write him down. I have the name of the
There's-
boyer, but not the armorer.
It should be in one of the channels chat, either
Yeah.
in or out of character chat somewhere. We need to make sure we add that there. I'm really trying harder with this smaller, more manageable campaign to put these notable NPCs in this list so that when y'all head back to these places, if you do, or if other campaigns end up in these areas, that I've got all this detailed information so I don't have to make it up on the spot.
Let's see. Envil Legstum was the breeder. Finster, the money changer. Alish, that was the guy's name. That's right, but that's way too
Yeah.
far. We'll figure it out later, or reinvent his
Yeah,
name.
so
Either or.
again, most of these entries are for Axholm, but if it's not Axholm, then like Alish, it's noted that Fontazar.
But yeah, Dungeon
Alright.
Master, once we appraise Hagen of the situation, wish him, fair tidings and good business while we're gone, and off an adventure we go to Oslo.
Okay, so y'all are going to hang out at the dock or get on the ship and try to stay out of the way.
On the ship,
Yeah.
out of the way, see how it feels to lay in the wagon while the thing rocks a little bit. I know it doesn't rock as bad as it will on the open water, but
Okay, so they've put the wagon midship, and they've chalked the wheels, and they've secured it with ropes so that it's not rolling about.
that's good. I was going to check about that, make sure it's secured properly, but if they've already secured it, I'm not double guessing. They know their shit better than I do.
Okay, you can see the captain and some of his men are on the upper deck at the rear of the vessel, and looks like they're discussing things. They have a map or something out on a little table thing in front of them. And there are some others that are going about barking orders, and crewmen that are on the deck that are, secure this line, untie that, move this, get this below decks, or get something from under deck. Y'all can, I'm not going to minutia the running of a ship, especially since they are secured at port, but they are kind of trying to speed things up because they obviously, as the captain said, leave at first light.
So yeah,
Wait
Dungeon
on the
Master.
ship, play cards, talk, shoot the ship with party, stay out of the way. Duly noted.
Yeah, basically staying on or next to the wagon.
Okay. Chances of an encounter are very low at this time, but I still need to roll. So, party. You are just going to do that until nightfall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I assume you're going to eat rations at that time. Make sure you mark that
Yep.
off.
Yes, sir.
And then you are just going to sleep on deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and set my bedroll up under the wagon if I can,
Oh,
since
you
I'm only
okay.
4 feet tall.
All right, so you're going to set yours up under the wagon. What
I
about
suppose.
Ray? Where are you going to sleep, Ray?
You came through very quietly, Dom.
Oh wow, that's super quiet. I didn't hear him the first
I
time.
turned his volume up earlier and I couldn't hear him.
Okay, so hold on a sec. Dave, you're trying to sleep under the wagon?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 1, 2.
You're
There
good.
you go.
Okay, I was going to say that Ray would try and sleep near the middle, as close as humanly possible that she can get.
Okay. The middle under the wagon or the middle of the ship?
Middle of the ship.
Okay, they put the wagon middle of the ship.
Then
There's-
close
Huh?
to the wagon then.
Okay, so behind it or in front of it then. Okay, or next to it. Okay, put close to it. Okay, Hans.
Hans will go on the wagon.
Okay, Hans, no more ale for you. You're on the wagon. Gotcha.
Avrod, I don't know where you're at. I'm pretty sure there's room here on the wagon.
Yeah, he's gonna also sleep under the wagon if Dave is not being greedy and taking all of the space right out of the middle.
Dave's 4'4". There's a lot of room under that wagon still.
Okay.
Avrod also under wagon. Okay, Dungeon Master, I put on board the plunder as a formation right underneath campsite formations.
Okay. I'm sure we'll erase that when this is said and done, which probably won't be that long. Yeah, formations channel is kind of bulky. We've got morning routines.
Hey, I kept my thing nice and clean. My shit is good. It's nice and
Lunch
documented and
routines, night
everything.
routines. I guess it's not too bad. On board the plunder. Hagen's stables, okay. Campsite formation. Yeah, I always have trouble finding that one. Road travel. Okay. Yeah, Hans, go ahead and delete the part for road travel with donkey tied to the back of the wagon, because donkey gone.
Donkey gone. He's deleted from my character sheet.
Donkey Kong.
I even let him take the large saddlebags with him.
Oh, you dumbass. Yeah, no, fair's fair. It's your shit. I just have to pay you back for it.
Okay.
So yeah, Dungeon Master Hans will offer if Captain wants, hey, I have this lantern here, and inside has a magical light stone that produces light, and it's very bright. If you want, I can demonstrate when night falls, and we could use that at sea if you'd like. I just, need to make sure I get that. That's a very valuable thing to me.
Hans, if that debt is still weighing heavily on your shoulders, we can just sell that chainmail.
Okay.
I will keep that in mind, Dave. Right after I throw you overboard.
So, Hans, the captain, he looks up at you because you're taller than he is. He's only about 6'3" or so, and he smiles. He says, "Oh, you know what? Come over here and check this out."
I will come.
He leads you up the steps to the quarterdeck, where the steering and everything is at the back, and he leads you over to a post that has a sack on top of it.
$20 says that inside the sack is a continual light fixture of some form.
He takes the sack off, and he has what looks like a shuttered lantern. You can see bright light coming out from between some of the cracks. That looks an awful lot like this thing here I've got.
It does.
And he claps you on the arm and he says, "I appreciate the offer, though."
Just trying to be helpful. If you need anything, we'll be over there on the wagon.
Good to know. Yeah, I rolled to see if there was any chance that he had anything similar, because he's not. Yeah, I rolled +3. Yeah.
If you're gonna live in this world and that shit does exist, expensive though it may be, if you haul enough cargo, you can afford one of those, and that is damn well worth the price. Light in any condition, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and it won't go out in heavy rains.
It is a sailor's boon. I imagine in different circumstances, poor captain might offer to buy it off me, and no, I'll loan it to you for the trip, but I want that back when we're done.
Yeah. So, anything special from the party before y'all bed down for the night?
Nope.
This is more of
Party.
a me question, but is there a cleric of Hydrux on this ship?
Is there a cleric of Hydra on the ship?
You asked some weird questions now.
No, the reason why I'm asking this is because I made a spell for Hydrux for exactly this, ship travel, and I wanted to know if it was being used.
Yeah, no. Dom, Ray's inquiries will produce that you are the only clergyman or healer that is on this ship at this time.
Damn. Alrighty. It's okay.
Let's see here. Got to do a thing.
Party, do we wish to keep watch for the nights? Not like we'll need to worry about monsters for the most part, I hope. And I imagine the ship already has one. That went more French than German, but yeah, point still stands.
I'm sure he's gonna have somebody on watch, Hans. They can wake us all up.
Alright.
We paid for the passage. I'm sure they'll have a watch. You can inquire about it to see if they do.
Ideally they'll have elves and shit for night watch when their vision works well.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wonder, what are the odds that Lars went to Oslam first after leaving Axholm? I know he boarded a ship.
Favorite rocket ship?
No, he'd already gotten the thing at that point, so odds are he didn't leave from Axholm. What ship did he take, you think?
There's
Probably
things
not one of the
happening,
ones in the
guys.
war.
We're on the water and things are happening. This isn't good.
So odds are he actually left from Oslam, or maybe Sluice or Sheer. Perhaps Slaverton.
Do I need to write up a fiction thing?
Lars's travel
Lars'
guide.
Travel from Axholm to the far east.
Well, undoubtedly he left Axholm. It's entirely possible he went to Oslam and just palled around over there, looking city by city, town by town, village by village for Gleck, until eventually he bumped into the sorceress somewhere in that area, and then backtracked to the Snake's Tongue River, went south, and somewhere around or after the Evil Forest, he, got shipwrecked, and from there he just worked his way across the wilderness until he got to the City of the Temples. Or maybe from the other direction? No, that really wouldn't make sense. Your map is confusing sometimes, girls.
Oh my. And I need to see when that. Three, 4, 5. No. 4. Okay, that's going to be at this time. Okay, party. Y'all can give me perception checks.
Here we go. Nice.
Rolled an 11.
Putting it in dice rolls.
So the Grand Canyon is 277 miles long. 1,
Come on, Ray. Let's see that
2,
perception check.
3,
Yep.
4 and a half. Fucking hell, the Chasm of Groth is actually about as long, roughly, as the Grand Canyon. Hell of a lot deeper, though, and hell of a lot wider.
Less demons.
All right, Hans, yes. Dave, yes. Ray, no, you sleep through.
Avrod?
Avrod made it. So, party. It's dark.
Real dark. Dave's
now-
favorite kind of dark.
Now, there are lights on the ship.
Ooh.
There appear to be torches and whatnot. Those lanterns that the captain has are not generally advertised in port, it would appear. So they've got just normal torches posted here and there. And you are going to hear somebody hollering about permission to come aboard, and somebody state your name and your business. And the guy's like, "Could we speak discreetly?" And so one of them is going down the gangplank. And party, so y'all can hear some conversation, but it's hushed. And there's the noise of the slapping of the waves against the boat and the stuff and all that. So you can't make out what they're saying. But after a few moments, that guard and two other individuals come up on deck. One of them is a tall man. Looks like he's slightly over 6 foot. He appears to be human. He looks kind of thin. He's wearing robes, and he looks somewhat nervous. Following him, behind by a few steps and off to one side, there is a dwarf. You would judge by his height and build. He looks very strong. He appears to be wearing splint mail. Let's see. He has a Morion, a face covering. Let's see. He has a large sack with something unusual shaped in it because it's very angular and clunky. Now, the tall man has but a couple of daggers at his side and a wand. The other one has a short sword on his hip. He does appear to be, though, using both hands to hold on to that large sack with whatever the hell is in it. And the ship's mate is directing them to wait on the quarterdeck, as he's not waking the captain up this damn early, and you'll have to plead your case with him when he gets up. In-game chat. Party, do we wish to keep a watch for the night? Not like we would have to worry about monsters for the most part. And I imagine the ship already has one. Okay, actions. Keep an ear out on this. So, yeah. Man and the dwarf, they proceed up the stairs to the quarterdeck. And they, the man bends down because the dwarf is kind of on the short side at about 4 foot, maybe slightly less. But he bends down and they converse for a few moments. And then they seem resigned to sit down and lean up against the rails, facing towards the wheel of the ship.
Alright.
Keep an eye out on this. Get up and go talk quietly with Hans. Alright, so Dave, you pop up.
Yeah, I'm typing something up now.
Okay.
Ah, my back.
Well, I'm gonna go first smoke real quick while y'all get this RP.
What is it, Dave? Ow. Apologies. Gotta lean back for a second, get some weight off it. Tell you what, Dave. Feels like early morning, I think Dungeon Master said, so if you want, I'll do 3 hours, then you do 3, unless you want to sleep longer. I know you need your full night's rest.
I currently have a full list of blessings. I can afford to stay up tonight.
I have no clue how any of that works, my dude. Just, I know everyone needs their sleep. So, here, I'll do the first 3, then pass it off to you. And then
Sounds good.
if it goes for long enough, just go back to bed. The odds of something bad happening are small, but perhaps. Watch those two.
I'm worried about thievery.
So yeah, in that case, let me go pop that in actions.
I can't believe I rolled 2 nat 20s. I'm trying to create that spell.
Yeah, you poor thing.
But because I did so good on my checks to do my level up, it was basically just a regular level up.
Yeah, so it worked out alright. Maybe I have been overestimating how much time level up should take. Nah, hasn't hurt the party too badly, although Chromie did level up an age bracket. I'll throw an elixir of youth at y'all at some point or another. That should help.
We had our chance. We had our chance to fix that problem.
Okay. Perhaps you were right, my large friend. Maybe we should keep a watch ourselves. In slow voice.
In a low voice. I hit the
Okay.
wrong letter. A is right next to S, man. Come on.
Yeah, it happens to me too. It happens to everyone. After a brief discussion with Dave, Hans will keep watch for 3 hours, guesstimating. Then wake Dave for him to keep watch. Oh, so you are going to retroactive this shit? Because
Starting at this point. No, at this point.
Okay.
When
I
we
know
see
at
these
this
guys.
point. Okay, y'all need to delete that then, because yeah, y'all were sleeping well and fine because the ship has a watch, and y'all woke up for this thing,
And now we've decided we want to keep our own watch because we're worried about thievery.
With hookers and blackjack.
oh,
You
now
don't forget the
y'all
watch
want.
and blackjack.
Okay, look, Dave, you got up from under the wagon. And you're talking quietly with Hans, and Avrod popped up too, and he's like, fuck it, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah, I'm honestly with Avrod here, but yeah, fuck it. I can sleep on during the day.
Okay, so you're going to keep watch for a bit there, Hans?
Yeah, about 3 hours by my reckoning, or until it's like, I yawn so much that I can't remember how many yawns it's been.
Hans, what's your intelligence?
I have an intel of either 11 or 12. Give me a second, I can look that up for you. Intel of 12.
Intel of what?
12. Wisdom of 13
12.
when that comes into play.
Okay. Well, shit, Hans. You're kind of laying there, or maybe you're sitting up. I don't know. But you're kind of keeping an eye out. You can see, yeah, there are at least 3 of the sailors on deck, and they're moving around, and occasionally 2 of them will meet together and talk for a few moments and split apart, and the other 2 talk, and they are keeping watch.
Yeah, they are. Dave, he's
But
still
the thing
awake.
is, you think it's been about an hour and a half, and oh shit, the sun's coming up.
God damn it.
And at those first bits of light, you'll notice one of the guys on watch. He goes into what you assume are the captain's quarters and first mate, that kind of area, at the back of the ship under the quarterdeck. And a few moments later, he returns on deck. And a few minutes after that, before you can see the sun, the captain is coming out on deck. And he's headed towards the quarterdeck. Okay, you're going to wake Dave. You're going to hop off the wagon and reach under the wagon. Dave, wake up. That kind of thing. Okay. And Ray, you can give me a perception check since you're right there.
Alrighty.
Is it my time for watch already, Hans?
9.
Oh,
I
it's,
was nice and let you sleep.
it's morning. It's going to be a long day for you, my friend.
I'll be fine.
What did you get, Ray?
I rolled a 14, so fail by 1.
Okay, well, yeah, you might have failed to wake up with them talking, but then Hans is waking the rest of the party. You don't need to wake up Avrod, Hans, because when you start talking to Dave, he opens his eyes, and yeah. But yeah, you'll get woke up.
Yeah, Dave, see, told you needed your rest.
I got it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you got it. Just remember that next time I make a debt payment. I look out for y'all. Dungeon Master, I'm totally cheesing them. They don't know how long it's been. I am evil.
Dungeon Master, can I get an intelligence check to see if I can tell how long it's been?
Huh?
Can I have an intelligence check to see if I can tell how long it's been since I went back to sleep?
What is your intel?
My intel is a 13, I believe. 14.
14. Oh shit. Oh,
How long do I believe it was?
fuck. That fucker, it must have been for half an hour. Yeah, it couldn't have been more than half an hour.
Oh, you fuck. It's only been a half an hour, Hans. I barely got back to sleep.
But 9, it was at least an hour. Okay, it wasn't the full 6. I might have fibbed that part, but no, it's been at least
There
9.
we go. All good.
Yeah, no, I was mostly joking.
I know.
But hey, if I got you to knock off 100 gold pieces off of a ridiculously huge thing anyways, and I would have paid it back anyways, well, I wouldn't have considered the effort for loss.
See, I can't knock off 100 if you want 100 knocked off, because 50 of that still has to go to Shallow, so you still have to pay that 50 at least.
That is not how maths work.
That's
I'm a fucking warrior,
how
even I know
games
that's not
math
how
works.
maths work.
You know, 4,500 of the 9,000 you owe me is going directly to Shallow.
I'll
How you
praise
feel
the
about
warrior
that?
god.
Okay, so while y'all are having this exchange and whatnot, y'all are going to hear from up on the quarterdeck because the captain's voice carries.
Stay off my quarterdeck and
those-
out of the way.
And those two figures, the college guy and the dwarf that is with him, they you see what appears like some coin changing hands from them to the captain, and they are coming down off of the quarterdeck. And they're going to eyeball you a lot. The man, not so much. He'll nod and steeple his fingers at the group.
Give him a joyful
And-
wave.
Oh, you give a joyful wave? But-
Wave, I don't know.
This guy seems neutral. Like, he doesn't waste any time looking at y'all. He was polite. That's it. And his companion, the dwarf with the splint mail and the Marion, he's giving y'all the eye. Sizing, you can tell he's sizing you up. But he seems to dutifully follow the man, and they go past your wagon and find a spot near one of the masts on the sail side of it, where they sit down and they whisper for a bit and they start taking out some provisions.
Oh yeah, breakfast, might as well. Cold rations. Better get used to it. We're not starting a cook fire in the middle of a ship unless they've got one already. I don't know how they do
They have
things.
a
I'm not a
what?
sailor.
If they have a what on the ship already?
A cook fire, you know.
Well, there is smoke coming up from a stack that's obviously somewhere below decks, but yeah, they're not handing out food for y'all.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. That's what the rations are for. I got enough for several days' travel. Worst case scenario, I
Okay,
can
and-
always eat Ray or Dave.
And with this, the captain issues a few orders about get us underway now. And some of the other sailors, obviously their first mate, second mate, third mate, whatnot, they're barking orders around, and sailors are coming up on deck, and they've pulled up the gangplank already, and they're unsecuring the moorings, and their poles are coming out from below decks and pushing the ship away. And then, oars are coming out, and the boat is maneuvering out into the harbor. Damn, listen to me throwing around all those nautical terms.
Mm-hmm. It's like you've been on a ship in your life.
Not a wooden sailing ship, but been on some big metal boats. All right, breakfast, shooting the shit. Dave, eat and pray. And Ray, I guess you're fasting.
Dave is not praying for any particular spell. He's just doing general prayers to Shalif in reference to the spell that he failed so miserably on.
Okay.
Hoping that one day Shalif will see it necessary and granted.
Or maybe, Dave, maybe it was your own failure.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was my own failure. I'm just hoping Shalif can make me better, good enough to not fail next time.
May the Father bless me and give me the strength for getting the strength spell.
Give me the intelligence to get strong.
Hans is debating with himself over something potentially stupid. I mean, the odds of it causing my death are unlikely, but... Avrod, watch these two for me for a minute, would you? Dungeon Master,
so.
making a point of keeping my hands off my weapons, I will approach the two newcomers.
Okay.
And Dungeon Master, I don't need to go step-by-step roleplay because I don't want to hold everyone else up unless you'd like me to. Just greetings, I'm Hans. My companions and I are also passengers aboard the ship. It's a pleasure to meet y'all. And, inquire, hey, what's your name, What brings you on board? But I don't need to hold up session here. I'm just being friendly.
Okay. Well, the short one, he's looking at you, and you can see he's squinting. Even though all you can see through the eye holes are his eyes, you can see he's squinting at you. The man... Oh, where did I put his sheet?
Again, Dungeon Master, I'm not trying to hold up session here. It's just I'm trying to think what would Hans do, and frankly, Hans tries to be a friendly, personable guy. He probably doesn't come off that way because he's got that mediocre comeliness and charisma, but he's not terrible on that regard. Just nothing special.
He actually had a piece of parchment in his hands that he was looking at. He'll face it down and he'll nod. Greetings. We are travelers.
Travelers. We're probably going to be on board the ship for a few days by my reckoning. If you ever want to catch a meal with us, we're over there by the wagon.
We prefer our own company, but thank you.
Pleasant day to you. And heading back. Not taking up any more of their time.
Okay.
Again, just being nice. When the half-giant is the most charismatic person in the party. We need to get ourselves
morning routine pray to Hibernicus for safe travels. Okay.
Ray is really charismatic, I believe.
Wait, isn't Ray the one that has to wear a mask?
No, that's Hugo.
That's who?
Hugo's the one that has to wear a mask because he's so revolting that he makes people take damage.
Hugo's the one that makes Ikroromede seem like a prince charming among men.
Mm-hmm. Ray's actually pretty good charisma-wise.
Okay.
Anyways, like I said, Dungeon Master, I know it's a waste of time, but I'm playing my character.
No, fine. That's appropriate.
You never know. They could have been nice people and wanted to come hang out and tell us stories.
I left it open on their thing. If they want to stay by themselves, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
I figure we're going to be on this thing for a little bit. No sense in not getting to know each other.
I have to re-measure the distance because I measured it and then I promptly forgot it.
Measure twice. Sail once. Haha.
That is the distance. Okay. I have that in my head firmly now, and I've rolled for the first 2 hours.
Which way is the river flowing, Dungeon Master?
The river flows south. Most of the rivers in my world tend to flow south.
Very
good. One notable exception, but that's not anywhere where you're at. So, I've got the first 2 hours, and the party started at daybreak. Dun, 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 and that makes it to that time, which I'm noting on my thingamabob here, and distance noted. And your Dungeon Master is going for a quick smoke, so if y'all need to run to the bathroom, grab a drink, or whatever, knock yourselves out, and be back in 2. So, 20 after 9.
Believe it or not, companions, this is my first time on a proper boat. When I was a lad, I built a small wooden thing out in a pond near my home, but
Mhm.
I didn't realize how much I would make it go down, so when I brought it onto the water and I sat down, it immediately started taking on water, and I couldn't bail it out fast enough. uh, this is better so far.
Okay, by the way, party, I need everyone to roll a d20.
Never
We're checking
happened.
for seasickness. Oof. Well, let's hope this is based on con.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually don't know what this is. Dungeon Master, is this con? Because I got a 19.
So, yes, Dave, what is your con?
My con character sheet, I believe, is 16.
Okay, you're
Yes,
fine.
it is.
Ray, you notice once the boat gets moving, it's just a little roll this way, a little roll that way. It comes natural to you. Hans, yeah, when the boat gets underway good and the oars are going and waves, because he's getting this big boat out near the middle. Yeah, you feel a little fluttery, but you're okay.
Thank you, 19 con.
I think he should get a -2 because he's so tall.
Yeah,
I
He
think
sways
we should
more.
see how much. I'm sorry. Never mind. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to make Hans speak.
I
no,
think we should see
in
how
my
long Dave can tread water.
in my experiences, the bigger a person is, the more susceptible to motion sickness, be it a ship or a plane they are. Yeah. Not always. That's a general thing, so I'm not going to hit people with penalties over that.
Hmm
6-1 clock in here. I haven't felt seasick or airsick ever. My brother gets car sick like you wouldn't believe, and he's shorter than me. So, that being said, I am no 8'6" because Jesus Christ.
Oh, the one time that I was on ship, we were going from the Philippines to South Korea, and on this is the one time part of it is that we had rough seas, so we ended up we couldn't make port for 3 days because the seas were just too damn rough. So we're sitting out there, and the first couple of days, a few guys got queasy and whatnot, but they seemed to get over it. But we got that rough seas, and oh god, the guys that were running for the rail and just hugging the rail and staying there, and some of them were a lot of the great big guys that we had. And I'm like, dude, hey, you want me to go get you some greasy bacon or some cold chicken? And fuck you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were, and at 6'1", I was fine. I had natural sea legs. During the roughest part of the storm, I got a little bit of butterflies in my tummy, but I'm like, Dad, what the fuck, and kept going. But yeah, these guys, they were looking for me for a day or two before they forgot about it. And I managed to make myself scarce because they wanted to extract revenge on me for tormenting them when they were unable to do shit but hold on to the rail.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
oh, you learn real quick during rough seas, and I'm sorry for the digression, but how to eat, because when it gets rough enough, they can't cook. So you get sandwiches and stuff. So you learn to put an elbow on your tray to hold it in place and hold your drink with that hand. Okay, that way you can adjust depending on which way the ship is rocking, and you eat with your other hand. Yeah. Caught on to that shit real quick.
Sounds like fun.
So yeah, for like 3 days off the coast of South Korea, we were in these rough seas, and it was funny as hell, from my perspective. I'm gonna beat your ass when this is over. Run away laughing.
Maybe one day IRL I'll go on like a ship boat.
Believe it or not, this is my first time on board a proper boat. When I was a lad, I built a small wooden thing out on a pond near my home. But I didn't realize how much I would make it go down, and she sank in only a few minutes. So far as this is better.
You're free to tell me, Grizz, if that's BS, but I thought it was funny. You know, he tries to build a boat, and it's like, oh wait, I weigh too much. It just, no, damn it,
Nope.
she's taking on water. No, I can't bail her out fast enough, and I just kind of stand up, and she's at the bottom of the pond.
Okay, continuing to roll for encounters. And let's see, that's another 2 hours that go by without noticeable event. Getting us that many miles. And getting us to that time of day. And y'all are out of the friendly waters now, by the way.
Oh no, I held no delusions. None of the water is friendly.
Okay, so noon is going to come about, and y'all can mark off rations. While I'm keeping track of distance traveled, this time is already updated. Does the party wish to stop and eat lunch? No, you don't.
We'll eat with our elbow on our tray.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not serving you food. You're like paid for cargo.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite crude.
Where's that?
That's not your spell
And
watches.
Distance.
But at least I was able to get my horses across. So that's what matters.
So yeah, they put the horses below deck. The wagon is on deck. Those other two travelers, they appear to be doing just fine, and they're keeping to themselves. The man is reading occasionally, and the dwarf, he's occasionally it looks like he's sleeping, but when he's not, it looks like he's just eyeballing everything. So is the party doing anything to help pass the time?
Cloud watching, card playing, shooting the shit. I will occasionally regale the party with some bland, non-specific tale of former travels if they wish. But, frankly, I didn't do too much. There was this one dungeon, though, but we didn't do anything, goddamn it.
I'll preach for 8 hours a day about the blessings that Shalif could portray upon Hans.
Dave, I will actually throw you overboard. And throws the armor overboard after you to pay off your fucking debt.
Okay, 3 hours a day.
How about 3 minutes and it's quietly and it's in your head?
But you don't know what you're missing out on, Hans.
I fight things, don't I? I use a sword, I hit things with it really
You
hard.
could be so much more if you worshipped him. He could grant you blessings like you've never seen.
Any holy symbol, the newcomers, well, not necessarily newcomers now, but the people that Hans tried to make small talk with.
Yeah, what about them?
Any holy symbols that I see?
No.
No holy symbols? Alrighty.
I don't see any. Okay, definitely not encountering those.
Oh, that's great. If you have an encounter.
Yeah, but at some point he'll stop, and there's not going to be a lot of creatures. Like if he's rolling randomly, he's going to hit a lot of creatures that won't be in the water.
Oh, there's tables for underwater encounters.
Oh, if he's specifically using the underwater table, yeah, we're fucked.
Well,
Yeah,
we might not
but-
be fucked. We might just run into normal sharks, but maybe not.
But normal sharks shouldn't be a problem, right? They're in the water. We're on a boat.
It depends.
Do they eat boats?
There are boat-eating sharks. I assume. I have heard rumors of the fucking hell, I can't talk. Rumors of the sea and the creatures that lie within. We should only hope that because we are on a river, technically, we are good.
A
Now,
viver? What's a viver?
A fucking river. Dave, I swear to God, I will find a different god that is different than Shalif just to piss you off.
That wouldn't be wise.
Look,
You know,
I have
Shalif.
punched titans in the arm. I have delved into dungeons and run out screaming at little girl ghosts. I have many things I have done that were not smart. This would only be not even into the
Another
top
one?
5.
Mm-hmm. But you would much be better off serving Shalif.
Yeah. Goodness, man. You religious folk. You know, my dad, he doesn't run for religion either. Said that you all spent all your time fighting pointless wars with each other while the common men starved.
Well, the common men should have fought the wars and they wouldn't have starved.
See, that's it, right there. Anyways, that's about as atheistic as I'm going to play Hans, because honestly, I don't know where he's going to lie down, where he's going to end up as far as that goes. You know, Shalif is a reasonable thing for him to go to, but I don't want to make it too easy for Dave.
Well,
No
Dave will
brownie
keep
points for
working on it.
converting Hans for you, ha ha ha.
Hey, you're the one who can't get the strength spell once I get it if you're not a worshiper, a true
That's
worshiper.
fine, I'm strong enough on my own.
What would a 19 mean?
+1 to hit and +2 to his damage. Not bad.
What? A plus 19, 19 strength?
No,
is
from what he
+1 to
currently
hit?
has. So it's
Oh,
+3,
yeah, okay.
+7. He's already +2, +5, so that's +1, +2 to each.
Okay.
And of course, you know, his weight limit goes up by a significant amount. Don't get me wrong, he'd love it. In fact, he's had the strength spell put on him before, so if he understood that this is like that, he'd be all for it.
What if it maxed?
That would still put him at like 19.4 and 19.5.
Okay,
It's,
not enough to get the next one.
yeah. That's not going to bring him to the next plus to hit, which is only +3, +8 if I recall correctly. Yeah, no, the strength table is so funky. It's like you have 18 +1 +2, 19 +3 +7. Because there's that whole range of exceptionals. And it's like, you know?
It's like they had a system in place, and after a few years of working it, they realized there were things that they left off, so they added to it. And then later on, they realized there were more things they left off and added to that. And so it's all kind of clunky piecemeal.
Yep.
I wonder how that happened.
Couldn't imagine. It's like this thing wasn't planned out all the way at the beginning. So once we hit Oslam, let's think. There are 2 roads out of it that go east. The northernmost road takes about 75-ish miles, plus some. Call it 100, all things considered. And goes to Ephraim. Ephraim, I know nothing about. Other than that, it looks like a small... well, we're just going to skip that one. But Ephraim connects to, like, Anshwo, Eton, and Ghent. Ooh, and Espy. You know, Ephraim is a very nice
He's
central
still
city.
rolling dice, double M, I'm scared.
But if you take the southernmost road out of Oslam, that goes to a city or town that is not named, but is marked. Pretty small, all things considered, and that one just connects to Espy or goes south to Slaverton. And, you know, Slaverton and Espy connect together to Oakton over by the Dwarven Mountains. Undoubtedly, there's some tunnels that go out of there into the Dwarven Kingdoms, but I don't know about them, personally. Now, what's interesting about Slaverton is if you cross the river to Sluice, well, to that other part of Slaverton, or maybe that's a different city, I don't know, you can then take that road to Sluice, which goes to Sheer, and loop around that way. But I'm thinking we'll take the northern road out of Oslam to Ephraim, and from there we'll have so many possible cities to go to. Eton, Ghent, like there's 4 or 5 of them right there. Don't mind me, just making plans. Killing
hear you.
time.
Mm-hmm. But you could worship Shadlip, and that could kill some time for you saying your prayers.
Dave, if I promise you I will legitimately think about it, will you please shut the fuck up?
I could, if you would legitimately think about it.
And I will
Because you have to
legitimately
be
think about
serious
it, because
about it.
Fractus Shalif does sound pretty awesome, and I've seen his healing when you've given it to me and to others, and he does seem pretty cool. It's just,
He's a pretty cool piece.
there's so many, and how do I know which one's the right one for me? I'm scared of commitment. What if I pick the wrong one? And I know, Shalif, how could he be the wrong one? But what if he's not the right one for me,
But look how big you are, how good you are at fighting. He must be the right one for you.
Maybe. I assume I've heard of others. I don't know. I'd have to ask Dungeon Master, and he's busy rolling up our doom.
Mm-hmm. Our doom. I like that.
Yeah.
Alright. Y'all want to hear some crazy shit that you won't believe is true?
Okay.
Sure.
No, this is Hans in character while I wait for Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master, if you're ready, you can pause with that where Hans about to say it and then encounter.
Okay, party, you don't need to give me a perception check for this because you will feel a jolt as something has hit the boat.
Something hit the boat.
Options.
Whoa! That is not how you spell deckhand. Deckhand.
Okay, it's about that time. So the captain is on deck. All right. All right. So obviously the crew is reacting, those members that you can see. And there looks to be about half a dozen, maybe more crew on the deck. And they are grabbing what look like all pikes from the rails, near the rails. And some of them are getting to the ballistas.
Oh shit. Companions, we may be about to be boarded.
But y'all don't see anything to either side or in front of the boat, or I mean, you've got limited view behind, but there's some shouting, and about a half dozen other guys come rushing up from below decks, and they're looking around, and the captain is at the wheel. And grab staff and scimitar looking for hostiles. Grab Bertha, look around, ask what's happening. Yeah, the deckhands aren't bothering to stop and talk with you. Look around and see what the crew is doing. So yeah, they're going to the defensive. Party will notice that the other 2 passengers, they are looking around but staying where they are. The man has put away his materials, and the other one has got his hands on that bag, that large sack that he lugged on board. He hasn't grabbed his sword. He's got where the top of that sack is wrapped and tied off with looks like a leather strip or a piece of cord. He's got his hands near there. He's looking around left and right. And there's some chatter between the deckhands and one of the mates. You're not sure if it's the first mate, second mate, third mate, whatever. But after that bump, things settle back down, and they're on high alert, as I'm sure the party is. But after about 5 minutes, nothing else has happened. All right, so he's in the process of putting that all pike that he had away. We hit something or something hit us, but this is deep water. I don't know.
Are you having anyone check on the below decks?
Don't you worry about what's below decks. And he walks away.
Damn it, whatever it is boarding us from below decks. I'm chewing a hole through
Eyes and ears open for any further trouble. Okay, there are no troubles. Wait, that might be one bobbing up and down in the air in the distance.
Damn it, it's a tribe of troglodytes.
You can't tell if it's a gray trouble or a red trouble. But
Fuck your trouble.
maybe it's some child's balloon. Oh, that's right, y'all don't have helium, because nope, so it's not a balloon. Keep on the alert.
I don't trust this. Fuck, I don't trust this.
No encounters that the party is aware of or concerned with.
Oh, god damn it, I knew I should have stayed on land.
Oh, I know what it was, and I can't share that information with the party at this time.
How stupid would it have been to just ask him to ferry us to the other side of the thing, and then just walk the rest of the way? No, fuck it, we paid 3 gold pieces, we might as well get the most out of it.
I paid 10 to get these horses across.
This is a good point, you did.
Okay, so again, party. After about 5 minutes, the deckhands they're putting away the pikes that they had, and by the way, y'all do notice, if you hadn't before, those ballista are loaded, and they're on a pivot. So these things, yeah. But anyhow, the extras that came up from below, they will filter back down below decks, and the ones that were above deck, they seem to go back to their routine duties, and the captain doesn't really seem concerned. One of the mates goes up to him, they discuss something briefly in hushed tones, and he continues to sail, steering the ship, and the mate, of course, he's moving about smartly, and telling people what to do, and he disappears below decks for a few minutes, and 5-10 minutes he comes back and goes and tells the captain something, and then he's just standing by and ready. And time goes on, party. What is this? Out of character chat.
Hans's ballista is also loaded and on a swivel.
Yes.
In fact, mine can turn about faster than theirs can. Granted, theirs does hit with more force. Not by much, though. Although Bertha doesn't treat all armor classes as 10, so there's that. At least I don't think she does.
No, but there are factors to be considered. Anyhow, with that, party people, I need you.
You went through Foggy, but I get the feeling you're going for a drag for a few minutes. We can discuss.
Yeah, y'all can talk about stuff, and nightfall is upon the party, and I gotta check one thing real quick. Okay, yes. Good. All right, back in a few. Oh, my knees.
Fell party, if nothing's happened yet, then probably we're in the clear. Probably.
I'm not worried. Shalif will guide me. And worst case scenario, I sink to the bottom and I walk to shore.
You can breathe underwater?
No. For a little while. Right?
So you go under the water, and what do you do then? How do you walk to shore?
I'm not sure how it works, Hans.
How what
I'm not
works?
sure how it works. I'm not sure.
How what works? I'm confused. You die.
Some-
That's what happens. Your lungs fill
That's
with
what
water.
happens?
You can't breathe. Your brain dies.
And then I come back to life when I regenerate, right?
You regenerate?
Yes. Yes, Hans. You notice how I've never healed myself once?
You've never taken damage, I thought. Oh, no, wait, that's right, you did.
Mhm.
Huh. You fucking regenerate?
Yes, Hans. I'm part troll. Look at me. I'm not that cute.
I assumed, but I didn't realize you got that shit too. Oh, damn, that's awesome.
Yes, it
Imagine not
is.
needing to be healed.
Except for that damn fire. That shit is scary.
Huh. I wonder how that would work then. I guess it's water and not fire, but I think you'd end up stuck down there for all of eternity
Maybe.
until something fished you out. God, that sounds horrible. Imagine being stuck at the bottom of a pool of water forever.
I'm sure it wouldn't be forever with all these creatures swimming around in here.
Oh yeah, then something eats you. Oh gosh,
Then
what
I-
happens if you get eaten by something that like can't immediately eat you? Do you just stay alive in its stomach forever? Does it just like crap you
No.
out after enough time?
I think the acid in his stomach would probably dissolve me.
Again, I'm playing as Hans. He doesn't understand the limitations of trolls yet. Damn. Well, maybe you will believe me then. So right before that thud, I wasn't going to tell you a thing, but yeah, save it for later.
Well, if you've got time, let me tell
Alright.
you about Shalif some more.
No, okay, fine, telling you. So, of all the crazy shit I have done, in addition to considering throwing you overboard and seeing if you actually can drown, I was consider I
Who's
have
throwing who overboard?
Dave. Uh, so, Dave, it's a crazy thing. I have fought alongside a Titan of Eld.
You have?
I have.
I've heard stories of these fellows.
I broke my blade for defending none other than Lord Oakley himself.
Wow, Dave. Wait, hold on, Hans. I need a charisma check.
Alright,
I know that name.
I rolled a 10. My charisma adjusted is a 11. Haha.
Okay. Dave, give me an intel check.
Intel check. That's failure. 18.
18. What's your intel?
14.
Well, Dave, that name sounds familiar, but you can't quite place it.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure who that is, but I think
What?
I've heard it.
You do not know of Lord Oakley? The
Things
dude is
harder.
terrifying. He rides this monster of a horse. I've seen one of them once before, as they are evil creatures. And he has this sword that erupts into black flames, and so there was this other dude, Hyperion, who was after my party for, I actually don't know what he was after us for.
Okay,
Literally, I
Dave,
never
give
was
me,
told.
give me another intel check, Dave.
9 of 14.
Oh, that Lord Oakley. Yeah,
That guy.
that guy,
Yeah.
the commandant of Brisnor, the Destroyer.
Yes.
Wait, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. Hold on,
No,
let me check.
he is the lost commandant of Riznor the Destroyer.
Was it Brisnor or Clophister?
Riznor.
Isn't
You're
he
probably
quite
thinking of
tight
Archon
with-
for Clophister.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't he also
okay.
quite tight?
The lost commandant of Risnor the Destroyer.
Yeah.
Disappeared some 200 years ago, and just in the last year or so reappeared. Hey, Vader.
So this
Okay.
Hyperion dude wants to kill me and my party. And Oakley showed up. I guess his god directed him. Hey, maybe I should worship his god instead of Shalith. And it was an epic battle. I lost a sword, but I think I saved Oakley from a deadly strike. And we drove off Hyperion. Then we punched each other in the arm and gambled. It was a weird day.
So because you had to save his life, you think his god is greater? That doesn't even make sense, Hans.
No, I was making a jab because you won't shut the fuck up about your god.
And you made a poor jab. That's what Dave is saying. My God heals you constantly. You had to
You know-
protect this fellow. His own God couldn't even protect him.
I mean,
John's
they still
body
run.
sounds like you left off your best buddy in that story.
I'm trying to play Hans without being meta. Frankly, he doesn't talk too much
Mhm.
about the rest of the group because it hurts.
He thinks they died.
Poor John. Poor Robin. Poor those other people. Sebastian. And a couple others. I guess Veritas was pretty nice when she was around. Ariel? Yeah, that was his name. He was cool.
Don't forget the centaur. Almost
Oh, yeah,
installed.
Bev and she was actually pretty cool. He. Yeah, that should go and quotes that shit.
Alright.
Anyways, that was actually the craziest day of my life. Second
So,
Good luck,
craziest.
guys.
Make sure you mark off your rations, and
Yep.
yeah, nighttime comes, and of course, at this point, yeah, those lanterns are getting opened up. They've got 3 of those bad boys. One at the bow, at the front of the ship, one up there at the back of the quarterdeck, and one midship, but it's up elevated like 10 feet. So somebody has to use like a stick with a thing at the end to orient it. So the deck is brightly lit, and so are the waters in front of and behind the ship for, as y'all know, the range of continual light quite a distance. And with this party, y'all can give me perception checks.
Alright, 1 sec.
Okay, Ray was a fail. Hans, yes. Dave.
Dave, you're slipping. Although I do think he did say something about having to go AFK, but I cut him off by accident.
Oh, okay.
Ah, pop my ear. Ah,
I'm back.
welcome back.
Need a perception check there, Dave.
It's coming. It's coming. 7 of 14. I put it in dice rolls.
Okay.
I don't get it.
All right, so Hans, Dave, you two will both notice that when it starts getting dark and some extra sailors come up on deck, and they get these lights going, and the captain is turning over the quarterdeck to one of his top mates, and he goes under the quarterdeck where I told y'all before you assume his quarters are. So they've got the lights going, and they've, instead of previously, it seems like they've got about 12 guys up here on deck. And mostly they're not doing a whole lot. In fact, some of them are going to break into 2 groups and playing cards, while the others are just doing piddly stuff. But yeah. Dave, I think a night's watch would be an exercise in pointlessness. Keep one if you wish. I'm going to get a full night's rest. Not.
I will take a full night too.
Okay.
With this many
Party-
people on watch, it might be smarter or not, but I think we'll be okay.
Okay. So, Ray, I assume you're sleeping as well as, although y'all might play cards or something or tell stories of blah, blah, blah for a while, because, wow, yeah, sleeping through the whole 12 hours of darkness is quite a trick.
Oh yeah.
Anyhow, continuing for rolling while the ship continues, because, yeah, unlike terrestrial parties, the ship does not need to stop. for nightfall or sleep or anything like that. 'Cause
You can prey on a ship, or you can certainly try.
But within a few hours, I'm sure y'all will get bored, tired of playing cards, telling stories, and go to sleep where y'all said y'all were.
Remind me to tell you the story about the Medusas another time.
What was the captain's name again?
Reginald. Or Reginaldo. It's in common info.
Yep. Captain Reginaldo of the ship Plunder. I am very sus about him, but he could just be antisocial. The whole thing about don't go below deck, don't talk about below deck, really makes me think he's transporting some very immoral goods, but...
The first rule about below decks is we don't talk about below decks.
Yep, you know what? I'm just going to be a good little thing because I really don't want to get thrown overboard or have to do a mutiny, so... If I don't know about it, it's not there. Yep, I can lie to myself like that because I'm not good. I'm not evil either, so, you know, if I hear screaming from below decks, I'll have to investigate, but Dungeon Master, I don't hear screaming from below deck, do I?
Not at this time, no.
Alright, so I'm good.
Okay, 4 plus 12 is 16. Yep, that works out good. All right.
So the ship's name is Plunder.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this guy's not a pirate at all.
Totally not. He loves his rum. His ship's
His
name is
flag does
Plunder,
not
and we
have.
don't go below deck.
Yeah, and it is
Like-
not skull and crossbones on the flag. Nope.
Nope, he's currently not flying any flag.
They actually have a sequence of flags they could raise and lower for the purposes of communicating with other ships. The Jolly Roger, of course, was just, I'm a pirate, you're fucked.
Our intentions are to take
Plunder.
what you have. And
All your
this
babes are
thing
belong to us.
Huh?
All your base are belong to us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can make this hard, or you can make it easy.
The white flag, of course, surrender. I believe the red flag was... I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. I'm bored. I'm gonna look it up. $26 for each of them, representing... a different letter of the alphabet. Colors are by choice.
Subscription canceled. Norton keeps sending me this message.
Mm-hmm.
Show me where
Yeah,
I
you need
can
to
go.
find a better antivirus.
Oh, it's gone. It just they keep sending me that. That's been a year. They've been sending me that thing.
So yeah, solo or combined, nautical flags always have conveyed meaning. For example, the alpha flag means diver down, keep clear. W, whiskey, means that the boat has a medical emergency and requests help. Delta and Victor means that I'm maneuvering with difficulty and require assistance. Juliet and Lima means you're running the risk of going aground. So they actually have a whole sequence of flags.
And do you know what it means if you fly your country's flag upside down?
You are not quite a pirate, but you're disavowing
No.
them or something?
No, your
No.
country's in distress.
You're in distress.
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, how's that maple leaf looking upside down there, Gina?
Looking like it needs to walk away.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
It's been upside down so long now, all the maple syrup poured out.
I think actually, Gina, you just have to replace it with the banana flag of bananas.
You're not wrong. Just change it to the pot leaf. That's what they really want.
Yeah, just paint that thing green and let people guess.
Yellow and black checkered would be to warn other vessels against approaching because they had plague. It was flown over infested ships in port.
Why wouldn't you just burn them?
Hmm.
I mean, sounds like we might be having another encounter of some type. But we are sleeping as well.
Here we go. Dangerous cargo. There's a yes flag, keep clear. Altering course to starboard, disabled. Need a pilot, pilot on board. Altering course to port. On fire, keep clear. Desire to communicate. Stop at once. I am stopped. Negative, no. Man overboard, about to sail. Request, I don't know what that means. Do not pass. Engines going astern. Keep clear. Standing into danger, require assistance. Require medical assistance. Stop your intention. Am dragging anchor. Require a tug. First repeater, second
Okay,
repeater,
I
third
need
repeater.
2 perception checks made, and not for the party.
Okay, I'm rolling one.
Oh damn! I thought it was 2 each. Rip.
I rolled a 6.
I rolled an
You rolled
11
a
first and then a 15 second. I thought it was 2 each. Rip.
That checks. Okay. So that's going to be that. Okay, so party. Now you can give me your perception checks, as there is a great deal of yelling and shouting.
Oof. Oof. We all failed. Although if it's a fail by 1.
Okay, yeah, Hans. Oof. Let's see. Ray, you had a 14 out of. Okay, Ray, you're gonna hear. You're gonna wake up, and Dave, you're gonna wake up. So you two, there's shouting and yelling, and there's ship whipping across the decks, and they did see it, however, before it got in close. So I need 3 attack rolls, as the crew have manned the ballista and are firing. Roll to hit, roll to hit, roll to hit.
Roll in here. I rolled a 19.
Is that? Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Look. I rolled a 19. Ray rolled a 20.
Oh,
Come on.
what the fuck, Ray, with the crit? Okay.
Come on, Double M. What's yours? You rolled a 5.
Hans with 5.
Why couldn't those be inverted? My 18 and my 5.
Here, I'll type mine in as well.
Gina, I think they were. Wait. Oh, a 19. Okay. Okay, a 5 as of that. Yeah, no, sorry. That is an air. Or a water shot. Okay. Sorry, this is a little juggly right at the moment. And what is this? Okay. That is that. Let's see. Dice rolls. Okay, so Ray, dice percentage for me.
All right.
And big double odd, right? Big double odd.
Close. 70.
70.
70.
Piercing weapons. Kneecap shattered, double damage. Yeah, this creature doesn't have any kneecaps, so just double damage. Alright, Double M, do you remember what ballista damage is?
Depends on size, either 2 or 3 die 6.
Size of the creature or size
Yeah.
of...
Size of creature.
Well, these are definitely large.
Here, I'll
So-
pull up the DMG just to make sure. But
Yeah, double check that, please.
I know, because we based it off of Bertha's with D4s instead of D6s. Or rather, we based Bertha off of it, I should say. XP, saving throws, monks, waiting actions, parlaying, sea and ocean, movement, float. Here we go. Although this would probably be in siege weapons. What the hell am I doing in oceans? Construction and SIEG. Construction, siege engines, fucking hell, Game is being annoying. Give me a second. By game, I of course mean the. Oop. Page 106. 12. Okay, fire rate, ballista, scorpion. Yeah, 2 to 12, 3 to 18, respectively.
Alright, so go ahead and dice that damage, Ray and Dave. So 3 to 18, 3 die 6.
3 die 6, damn. Here we go. Oh, nice. I rolled 2 6s and a 4.
Okay, 16.
$16 doubled.
32. Shit. Okay, so party, you are gonna wake up. Oh, those of you who passed your perception check, you are gonna wake up. There's some shouting and you're hearing crossbow or ballista being fired off. Thump, 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 and crewmen are already in the process of reloading that shit, and the shooters are moving. One of them is moving to a already loaded ballista, and a couple of guys are grabbing those pikes and shit again, and you two are going to see some tentacle-looking stuff wavering about in the air, and then they just kind of drop back beneath the surface.
Fuck me.
And at that point, okay, Dave, you jump to your feet, grabbing your hammer.
Yep. Watching for tentacles.
Watching Bertha, sleeping like a baby. Okay. Yeah, Avrod failed.
Oof.
I need to put it in my hand.
Yeah, Ray, you should
Mine action.
grab staff and spear, looking for hostile. Okay, guys. So those gunners are reload. Goddamn, they are fast. By the way, they're ratcheting back on these handles and clank, 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 clank. locked. And another guy's slamming a thing into place, and the one gunner that moved over to a different one, he's looking around, he's swiveling that thing left and right. I don't see it. And you two that are awake, you can feel the ship pulling to the left as you feel inertia pulling you to the right. And so a bunch of the guys, they're running around. These guys are barefoot and they're running around. They're looking out in different directions. So they're manning 2 ballistas on each side of the ship. And so guys, after a couple of minutes, it's quiet other than the sounds of the waves lapping and whatnot. And at some point, I really need to seriously check with Cohol on the lunar, the main party, the lunar thing, and make sure that I've got y'all in sync for the day of the year, because I don't know what kind of lunar conditions, but y'all have got those continual light lanterns going. But again, guys, after about 10 minutes, these guys are like, all right, we won. It's gone. And they make sure that all of the ballista are reloaded, and they just kind of jabbering quietly amongst themselves. And goddamn, nobody weighed down the cards, and so they're walking around trying to pick up the cards that they were playing with. And yeah, it looks like things have settled down, party.
Back to fucking bed then. Damn it. Always interrupt the nurse sleep.
Party, that was a giant squid. But between the crit and the heavy damage, y'all won't know this, but that was a kill.
Nice.
Despite their size, they are weak on hit dice. And yeah.
Man, they're pretty good treasure class.
How do you know that?
Hey, John D, you got potions of water breathing so the party can say, hey, Captain, stop the ship. Let's dive down there and get that shit. Maybe its lair is within the next 5 miles anywhere around here. Yeah, that works.
Sorry, isn't the treasure like what it swallows?
The treasure being what?
Isn't the treasure what it swallows?
Yeah, you'd have to look that up to be sure. And eventually it does go poop, so that treasure doesn't stay there forever.
You were saying about the phase of the moon, the check. I was thinking it was going to be a werepuss or were-octopus.
It could be a were-shark. I suppose I really should do that, but I'm not going to right now. But Double M, Vader, Gina, Fixer, if anybody talks to me in the next day or so, remind me to actually cram down and check what the lunar phase was on Cohol and figure out what it is for this part of Cohol, because...
See, I made it nice and easy. Just every 30 days is a cycle. I don't have 2 moons to worry about, though. It's just 1.
Yeah, well... My world is special. We have 2 moons.
I don't think GG for you. My world has Death Fog.
A perpetual state of death fog.
So there you go, playing the miasma card again. I got you.
Is that actually what that is?
No, it's
It's-
not like
Wow.
the spell. It's different.
Nah,
It's much
different.
worse.
If it's magical, would a magical creature get saving throw? Oh, if it had magic
Vader?
resistance?
You'll have to have John G pop onto Denalia to try that one out.
It seems that might not tell me anything if I'm immune.
Look at that.
Alright,
party
so,
mate your location.
Hans and Ray, I take it you two are going back to sleep?
It was Dave and
Okay.
Ray.
Oh, was it Dave? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Dave and Ray. So y'all go back to sleep, and wow. So y'all can give me party perception checks.
Wow.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Okay, Hans, you wake up. Ray, you wake up. Dave, you wake up. Averod woke up too. Yes and yes. Okay, so party, you are gonna wake up because, whoa, check this shit out. The ship is pulling into port.
Oh,
Nice.
Daylight is starting to break, and the captain's coming up on deck, and they're maneuvering with oars and whatnot, and yeah, they're lining up to some docks, and the captain will look. He'll come down off the quarterdeck and approach your party.
hail, Captain.
Hail there, large one. Anyhow, we've made it to Oslam. We're not taking on supplies or anything like that. We'll be here long enough for you to get unloaded. Our contract is concluded once your horses and wagon are off of... Excuse me, Mama.
Yep.
The captain's mother emerges from below the quarterdeck.
That's why they didn't want us going down there.
So ugly you have to keep her below deck.
Whoa. You crossed the line, Raider.
So lucky Girls wasn't there to hear that.
Jesus Christ, cursed scrolls are bullshit.
You should learn how to read them, Hans.
All right, so he's basically I'm sorry, conversation drastically divergent. The captain said, okay, we're going to get you, your wagon, your horses off of my ship, and then I'm moving on.
Thank you for the charter, Captain.
All right. It was good doing business with you.
Indeed.
See?
And he'll holler over in a crisp, loud voice, get that gangplank secured. And, second mate, get those horses brought up above deck after the wagon is moved off. Be smart about it. And so the second mate, he's hollering out names of people, blah, blah, blah. Hey, do this, do that. Get some bodies on this. And yeah, they're not going to push y'all, but they will kind of. The gangplank. It's over here, guys. Yeah.
Yep, we want to get off quick too.
Okay. Now those other two passengers, they're starting to nibble on their rations because apparently they're not getting off here.
Good. They can go fucking burn in hell.
So once they get the party off of the ship and onto the docks, this is some weird shit. They've got two gangplanks, and they've got men in front of the wagon and behind the wagon, and they've got ropes behind it. But in between, under the wagon, there's nothing. They've just got a gangplank for the left wheels, a gangplank for the right wheels, and they've done this shit before, but wow, it's like if either one of those gets budged, that thing's going into the drink. But yet they manage. They get it unloaded. Then they slide the two gangplanks together, and they've got people. It's gonna take about 15 to 25 minutes, and I'm assuming the party is nibbling on their morning meal at this time.
Yes, sir. Marking off rations.
Mark those rations off. Disembark, wave to shipmates, and wish them fair weather and safe travel. Double M, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. But they will get the horses unloaded, and that's, like I said, takes a little bit of doing. The horses are used to being handled, but this whole ship thing has been weird.
But they're here now.
Yes, and Dave, make sure you mark off the rations for the horses because
Yep. How many days did we travel on the boat? 2, right?
Or
3? No, 2
a
nights.
day and a night.
Just 1 day and 1 night.
1 day and 1 night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a whole 50 miles.
We're good then. I marked off.
And
50 miles in 1 day and 1 night.
now
Wow.
something's got to be wrong with my math because y'all were making 2 miles an hour. More or less
25
constant.
hours.
25 hours. Okay, so guys, it should be an hour after dawn when y'all get there. And then with the unloading time, that being another total of about 40 minutes. So let me mark my ticker tacker for the
Close
appropriate
enough as
time.
it stands, you know.
Huh?
It's pretty close as it stands. Point is,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
impressive. Damn, imagine if
only
the
off
other
by
party could travel that far in a day.
I was only off by an hour.
Mhm.
Okay, so they will get you off, the wagon off, the horses off, and at this point, Hans, you're waving to shipmates and wish them fair weather and safe travels. A few of them give you like a salute kind of thing with one hand, aye, and waving off. But Hans, give me a perception check. And if any of the rest of you are doing this kind of friendly farewells, let me know.
Dave's not that friendly.
Ah, come on, Dave.
Okay.
Think about it. If you're friendly, they might convert to Shalloth.
Charged me 10 fucking gold. That's a lot of gold.
So
He
at
brought
a penalty
horses on his
of
boat.
3, Ray and Dave, you may give me perception checks.
A penalty of 3. All right. Hey, I passed because I rolled a 5.
Okay.
What did I notice? I noticed Hans being all friendly again. And I'm like, oh, fucking Hans. Always getting us in trouble.
Ray 20. Okay, you're oblivious, Ray. So Hans, when you go to wave and wish them farewell, you see that short guy that you think was a dwarf near the edge of the ship, and he flips you the bird.
Smile and wave. Smile and wave.
And Dave, you noticed this also. It's like, what? Okay.
I too flip him the bird back.
He turns his back and walks away. And, at 3'10",
Charming.
there's a rail. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, guys, I need to go help Mama for a couple of minutes, but we're at a decent pause point. So get your snacks, use the bathroom, get your drinks.
I'm gonna head out. So good night.
All right, good night,
Night.
Victor. Sleep well, friend. I'll be back in a few, guys.
So, what was that about the door?
We had another group that accompanied us on the boat. I was friendly, came over, said hi. I figured it was a bad idea. They were keeping to themselves, ourselves. But I said, hey, if they wanted to join us for meals, feel free. I'm Hans. Pleasure to meet you. And yeah, they basically were like, we're travelers. The nice one of them, who wasn't the dwarf, said, we're travelers and we're going to stick to ourselves. I was like, absolutely. If you ever change your mind, if you want conversation, we're right over there. And then I turned and let them be. So, yeah. Undoubtedly, there's a story there. And Alright, I am gonna go get me some food though. I'll be back shortly. Alright, I'm back.
Oh, come back.
Hello, hello.
Hi. So yeah, we're doing the RPG loop. Find a new area, acquire quests, complete quests, level up, sell old loot, go to new area, repeat.
Sounds about right. Tomorrow again. Tomorrow's Monday. Man,
Man,
I really can't decide whether or not I wanted to go over to Mead or to Hans, because each time I listen into part of their session, I feel a pull towards either side.
do both, man. Learn how to split your brain in two halves. You already have two of them, so it actually works pretty well. Or alternatively, John D, go where your heart tells you. I don't know what that's supposed to mean either, so don't ask questions. I refuse to take answers. Now, if it was me, I know exactly which one I would go for. Oh, hey, that's a good point. Party. Let me check your timeline. It was day 130 something. Then we did a 40 something, so it's day about 180-ish. 190-ish, I think he said.
Where's this map at? So we're
You
in
mean the
Oslo.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go from here?
Well, let's start by
Yeah.
looking for quests over here, you know? We can take a few days.
Alright.
Holy fuck. We're almost caught up with the coal hole party.
Come on.
Yeah, I think so, unless we're a year apart or something. Let me think. Yeah, fuck me. I think actually we're about the same distance. Because we just did a time skip. They're in the day 190s and we're pretty close to it. I'm pretty sure years are the same also.
You're probably gonna pass us soon.
Yeah, fuck me. They're actually fucking jam. So John D, if he could cross over to here, now would actually be pretty close to the optimal time. Which means there's a good chance we have heard rumors. Nah, probably not.
I mean, there has been a month or so.
Yeah, but have the rumors
Well,
made their way to Axholm? We'll see.
There.
I know.
Well, technically, it wouldn't spread out radially because there are temples that are going to be disseminating things, maybe. At the very least, there's going to be mendicants all over the place
I wonder.
who are doing
Speculation.
something about that.
Word of
Beyond
bounds.
business. Welcome
hello.
to
Hello.
Oslam party.
We're in Oslo.
Or at least you so believe. And so the party are going to take a little bit of time and
Hook the horses to the wagons, get the wagon ready. Yes.
reharness
Mhm.
the wagon. Okay.
Yep.
As you ate your breakfast and all that by now, so I'm advancing the time to there. No longer need those distance dice. New. What is the party's option?
Just really quickly finishing that off-topic thing. Actually, the rumors and gossip says word is leaking from the temples and soothsayers that another Forsaken has fallen. Details are elusive. Certain mendicants have believed to have sight beyond sight have been known to eagerly approach bald humans while muttering. So there's nothing saying Vader's John D or anything like that. Back on topic. I was just remembering, Grills, the two campaigns are actually pretty close timeline-wise. They're within like 2 weeks of each other.
Okay, does anyone remember what the last lunar thing I gave was?
I
Wasn't there a
tell
full
you
night
what,
recently with
yesterday's was.
Go ahead, Vader.
Yesterday for the Kohal campaign was the double full moon.
Okay, and what date was that?
It should be 193. I will include, however, that I was confused when you put day 194 because Wrath happened on the same day as the demon thing, which was day 193. I'm referring to Legends of Lore where on the top of the post on
Okay,
June
maybe I made a mistake there. But back on track with the lunar calendar, which day had the double full moon?
193.
Okay, and that is from the main party Kohal campaign.
Yes, day 193 going into 194. In between there, that night was the double full moon.
Oh, okay. And Yaron, so yeah, y'all had a double full moon on this journey.
Fuck. Oh gods. Thank goodness we didn't know about it. Then I would have refused to travel. Nope. Bad news. Bad news.
Where sharks? Where sharks?
Nope. I refuse. I absolutely refuse. You cannot drag me onto that boat kicking and screaming. Okay. Thank the gods we were lucky. It was just a kraken. Giant squid. Actually, we don't know that. I don't even know that. I slept through the whole thing like a
Wait,
baby.
hold on. Day 193? Vader?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, you're on day 139.
No, Dungeon Master, that should be before a 43-day time skip.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
right.
So yeah, we're something like 2 weeks away from that. Catching up, moving, woo!
No, y'all have caught up.
Oh, we did.
It is day 193 today. Wow.
No, it's day 194 today.
Yes, that is correct. So
Fuck
it was
you,
double
main
full
party.
moon
We
last
decide
night?
who flies.
Wait, that's right. Y'all are equal. Y'all are caught up. Timeline.
Vader.
Let's go kill them.
Vader. Now is the time. Now is the time for John D to find the marble.
John D. The stars are in alignment.
No, seriously, Vader, you might want to consider it. Legit. Or maybe not. You know, we were thinking about splitting, and that might make it very fun, and you get KGP, you know, Bevan, Robin, you know, it's a few things.
Yet you
Alright.
still haven't split, and you just flipping out might
Oh, no, wait. Main Kohal mob is on day 195. They're a
Oh,
day
yeah,
ahead.
that's right.
They're a day ahead.
Well, if we
For
start
now.
talking, we could get there. Come on, let's go, guys.
Day
Yeah, we got an hour and a half
195,
left.
early morning.
194.
Nope. Day 194 at 4:15 a.m. Party was blah blah blah. Just killed 6 werewolves. Y'all. Sorry,
Okay,
Mom.
yeah, and we're still on that because I had expended 2 spells and I was rememorizing that, and afterwards we
Okay.
wait. Oh crap, you might be right.
I am right.
The ultimate power in all of the universes is probably right about this.
Okay, because remember, y'all traveled for a bit, and then you went to sleep, and then you got up, and then you had the encounter with the bald people.
Okay, just because Hans's triage wasn't up to date. And now it is.
Okay, so
Oh, I just had a funny thought. Okay, you know
Ray, I
how
think you should be at full hit points. You had a
Dungeon Master.
33-day rest.
you need any help, Mama? Okay. I know.
Dungeon Master.
Yes.
Consider this. You know how you were having mendicants rub the heads of bald humans? You totally should have had Kragan rubbing his own head.
Kragan isn't bald. Where is he?
Technically, he's not completely bald. He's got small
No.
growths at the side. Moving forward, because
Yes,
here I
moving
think we
forward.
can beat the main party. Let's get another day in here. Dungeon Master, we are we are gonna go to an inn, listen to RNG.
Find
that
an
kind of
inn,
stuff.
get a drink, listen for RNG, looking for quest. Okay, good. Because the first time I saw that, I thought it said guest. I'm like, what? Okay.
Beats Grest. You left Axholm to look for Grest. What the fuck is wrong with you?
All right. So let's see. I need this. Okay. And that. Okay. Now I need a good name here.
Ooh, I actually have a thing.
A thing? You have a thing?
I do, Master.
Master, I have a
Tavern
thing.
name generator requiring 2d100s, if I may. 55 would be the Happy. 56. Ooh, the Happy Fool. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take half of that. The Happy Clam.
The Happy Clam. There you go. For what it's worth, odd 8 is clam, so that could have been a result.
I gotta head out, but that you guys enjoy the rest of session.
Night, Vader.
Okay, Vader. Have a good night and sleep well, friend.
Common info. Up, you're already there. The Happy Clam.
You should have
damn
took
it.
that opportunity.
My bad, it was 59, not 56. Happy Sir. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Okay. All right, this is not far from the docks. And so, party, y'all get the count for the time on my ticker. So, y'all get the horses harnessed to the wagon. And the four of you are clip-clopping and looking for, I believe you said, an inn or a tavern. Find an inn, get a drink. Listen for RNG, looking for quest.
They have a stable where I can stable the horses, Dungeon Master?
They do. It's not a very big one, though, because this one is close to the docks.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people coming and going from ships and stuff generally don't portage horses, but they do have one. They can accommodate your wagon and horses.
I will ask the fellas who are working the stable if they know anyone looking for a job as what's it called again?
Link boy,
Yeah, a
teamster.
link boy. Someone to take care of the horses.
That's
on
a
the road.
Teamster you're thinking of?
Teamster. All right, a Teamster.
Yeah, they don't. They you know, they just do the stable work and, you know, feed the animals, shovel the shit, you know, move the hay again, move the hay a third time, be nice to the customers.
I'll toss them an Electrum piece.
Oh, damn, I had a sneeze building up, and it got right there into the bridge of my nose, and it was all pins and needles, and it went away. Okay, with the color of that Electrum piece flying through the air, the three of them will begin fighting and wrestling, trying to get it. Okay?
All right.
And I assume the party is coming in through the side door into the inn proper, into the common room.
I'll go in. Dave, you have fun with those three. Figure that one out. Ray, you coming with? Avrod?
Yeah, Avrod's staying close to you for a general purpose there, Hans. Because you have stuff.
They'll figure it out. Dave goes inside too. Leaves them to figure it out.
Okay,
Damn,
so the
Dave,
party
you
has
are a
gone
heartless
into
bastard.
the common room, leaving the three stable boys wrestling over an Electrum piece.
Dave, you are a heartless bastard. You know what? Fuck it, Dungeon Master, I'm going to turn back and give each of them so that they have a total of one Electrum each. Just stop fighting, boys. Not worth it.
Okay, so are you asserting yourself there?
Yeah. You know, I've got the bulk. I've got the size. Just boys, stop. Hold up 2 more electrums. You take that one. You, this one's for you. You, this one's for you. Behave.
Okay. All right. Okay, and they're eyeing each other and holding tightly clenched fist onto their newfound coin. And
Go buy yourself something nice. It's a banana, Michael. How much did it cost? 5 silver?
The best fighter would have got it in the end.
Yeah, but come on. That's just mean.
I mean, just because one of them's missing the top of his ear now, where one of the others bit him trying to get a hold of that. I mean,
Well, I tried. You know, Dungeon Master. At first I was gonna walk away, but no.
nope.
I got a thing about money and food. Speaking of food,
Okay.
I know I ate breakfast, but come on, let's get
Dave
something
is
hot.
really cheap, and he's neutral, so he doesn't care.
No. See, that just doesn't sit right with me. You know, come on. If you're gonna do that, give them an equal share. It's not like we don't have the money.
It is an equal share. They can learn how to split it.
No,
Okay,
you
so
can't
you are
split an
looking-
election 3 ways.
Y'all are looking for rumors and gossip, so
Mm-hmm.
I've got to think up new shit at this point.
Yep.
So
Dungeon
y'all
Master, we can
continue-
roleplay for a bit if you'd like.
Yeah, y'all do that while I go for a smoke and see what kind of epiphany I have in the next 2 minutes
You know how to split an electrum equally, Hans?
with a
They-
battle axe.
They buy a loaf of bread and they split it 3 ways. But
That would be the way to do it, but the thing is, Dave,
It's not my fault they're stupid, Hans.
Guys, y'all got to figure out if you want me to tell you about what was on that ship with
I
you.
do. I really want to know.
Y'all do? Y'all really do? Okay,
Yep.
I'll be back shortly.
That's after session, though.
So yeah, Dave, just Hans will straighten up a bit. Okay, so you're like this tall when he holds his hand, you know, kind of up by the table. And I'm this tall,
Mhm.
yeah? So maybe it's different for you, but I went hungry a lot when I was a kid. And I see those kids, and it's like, I see myself in them, you know? Kind of. Half pint size. So, you know, you throw one of them in election, and they're all hungry. And, yeah, they're too stupid to buy one bread and split it 3 ways. Just, come on. You know? There's enough hungry kids in this world. No reason to make more of them.
That wasn't making more of them. That should have made the 3 of them not hungry. But no, they're too greedy. They had to have it all for themselves.
No kidding. You also paid them what? What is an election cut in 3? That's 10 silver becomes 3 silver, 3 copper with 1 left over. Yeah, you think they're gonna split that evenly among themselves?
Like I said, they buy an item worth an electrum and split it 3 ways. Buy a sack of flour.
What are
And
they gonna
split it.
do with a sack of flour? They're stable boys. They probably
I'm sure
rent,
they have homes and they have to eat.
maybe.
I'm sure their mother would like a sack of flour to cook bread for the family.
So we
If
do
you'd
got
like, I could start paying them in shots of rum.
no rum. Eh? So
Wouldn't that be fun to
companions,
carry
I
around
don't
a
know
bottle?
if I'm just being paranoid or not, but I'm fairly certain that that was the ship of a pirate. You know, the name The Plunder kind of throws that into question, and I really don't want to think about what was below deck, because I get the feeling if I saw it, I would have to... Well, I wouldn't have to, but I'd have a hard time not doing things.
I feel like I would be like, hey, it got me across the water.
Dave, a serious question. If there were, like, say, children in chains down there, would that not bother you?
They're not my children.
Seriously? Not even a little bit? Like, I can understand, you know, it's like, okay, this is a ship with dozens of people, this is their payday, if I try and fight them on this, they're gonna throw me overboard and I will drown, I have to keep quiet for my own sake, but that wouldn't bother you? That wouldn't keep you up at night?
Oh, it's definitely not going to interrupt my sleep.
You are a cold bastard, dude.
If they were my people, I'd think differently. But
Alright.
a lot of people in the world do a lot of bad things, and there's not much we can do about it most times, Hans.
I don't know about that.
So I try to keep my head down, keep out of their way. and keep on my goal.
I guess, but man, it doesn't sit right with me.
Perhaps it's that giant heart you have.
I guess.
Pays 1 gold for some warm food and ale.
Okay there, girls?
Yeah, sinus is acting up. All right, what about the rest of the party? Are y'all getting any kind of food or drink?
I will get food
Okay.
for.
I figured we'd been on a boat for a day and we had to do cold rations for that bit, so something warm.
Okay.
Yep, I'll do 1 gold as well.
Okay, wow. All right, well, Ray apparently is fasting because, yeah. Avrod will produce some coin as well for food and drink. Based on the initial die roll, what you would have gotten was some food and warm ale. But considering you're paying generously, I had to re-roll for their standards at the time because a gold piece for okay. And so yes, you will get some warm food, and it's slightly above average quality, and the ale is good. And so far, as we are getting an early as hell lunch here, it's still mid-morning.
More of a second breakfast, but you know what? I'm a big guy and I go hungry
Yeah,
sometimes. I've
yeah,
earned
you
this.
are, and y'all did do some exertions. It only took you about 10 minutes to find this place, which I believe I put into common info. I'm double
The happy
checking
clam.
now. Yes, the Happy Clam. So you found the Happy Clam, and guess what, guys? Their awning, it looks like this clamshell. In fact, up close, it looks for real. And goddamn if that thing ain't 6 feet wide.
Cool.
Cool.
Hey Ray, what do you think? That real?
You think it's real, Ray. You're pretty sure it's real.
So, Dungeon Master, while we're at the bar, I will pull out a silver, and I'll ask the bartender. I'll slide the silver over to him. You wouldn't happen to know where a fella could hire a teamster around here, do you?
I could ask around if you're going to be here for a bit.
We'll be here for a few hours.
I can ask around. Maybe find word in that time.
Sure, tell them paying well. A gold piece a week.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Well then. All right. I'll see what I can drum up for you.
Dave, you better
And-
not expect me to finance you on that one.
And he'll take your silver piece. And he'll disappear behind the bar into one of the back rooms. So I'm sorry, I've kind of got this typical layout for inns and whatnot in my head, and I just automatically go to that prototype
Mm-hmm.
for the layout. Now, the white snail inns, those are different, way different. But most of them should be different in their orientations and whatnot. But for some reason, I always go to this one type, this one layout cast. I'll have to work on improving on that.
Again, Hans, you're always worrying about my money.
Well, no,
How
it's
about you
my
just
money
worry
because I
about
have to pay you
paying?
back.
Yeah, why don't you just worry about paying me my money?
That's what we're trying to do here.
I have my money to finance my current projects.
Okay, so the party, y'all are. We don't have any thieves in the group, do we?
No.
Don't believe so,
No.
unless you count Avrod.
Yeah. Well, you don't know that he's a thief.
You wouldn't
No,
call him
no,
that,
he's
would
just a
you?
really good tracker who likes leather armor and is very quiet and sneaky when he wants to be. Totally not a
He's
thief.
a ranger. There's rangers in the player's handbook.
Yeah, ranger, totally.
Oh, jeez.
Something that has been openly
I
against
know,
small.
I know. That's why I
To be
made the
fair,
joke.
Helix was working on a ranger, but yeah, they're fun to try and balance.
I mean, me and Helix got one that we think would be good for playtesting. I just haven't been able to playtest it yet.
Ow, my back is murdering me. Yeah, party. Sorry if I'm a little slower on the draw. I'm actually leaning back, eyes closed. Kind of stretching out my back.
It had a pretty good character idea to go with it too, considering in the player's handbook, all cleric rangers.
Okay, well, party. Let's see here. After getting settled in and whatnot, and y'all talking about getting some Teamsters and choo-choo a little bit here, but y'all are trying to listen in for rumors and gossip, and there are some guys talking about something weird happening to the east. You know, you leave town and the roads fork, and you got the North Fork and the South Fork, and there's that village about a day out. And seems to have been some murders out that way, and people disappearing. And you know that village that's getting pretty big. It's almost a town, and they've, from what I hear, the mucks on the council have sent some inquisitors out there to look around. But I heard that one of the inquisitors disappeared, and his guards too. And the others are talking, and they're it's this or it's that, and there's wild speculation. Flying beasts snatching people in the night, and maybe it's just undead like ghouls or ghast, or maybe there's some kind of necromancer out there that's snatching bodies, or maybe it's something else that just grabs them and eats them and doesn't even leave the bones behind. A lot of wild speculation, but for listening for a while, and you are at least on your second ales, those of you who are bothering to pay for ale, Ray, drinking water, ordering any food. Yeah, and the water, Ray, it's warm.
Slightly yellow.
I didn't say that. I didn't not say that either, though.
Perception check. Yep, it's this.
No, I already rolled. Anyhow. God damn. Anyhow, there's a lot of speculation, but it seems if y'all look at the map, which you may need to update at this time. Let me go there. Maps.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I guess not. That shows it. So as y'all see, the roads leading out of Oslam, there are two of them, and they both go to the east. There's the North Road and the South Road, as the locals seem to call them. But apparently, and it's not on your map, but a good day's ride on the North Road, there is a very prosperous village, large village, or small town. And there's some kind of guy that's got a keep there that, it's kind of like his little barony or whatever you want to call it. It's far enough away from Oslam that it's not really in their jurisdiction, but as that is a trade route for them, they were interested in these things. And oh wow, you did expand.
I did.
Yeah, so that's the road to Ephraim. that we are talking about, just so that you are sure about that. And yeah,
Question. Go ahead.
so yeah, they have sparked some interest, but again, what you are hearing is rumor and gossip, not official click-clack. Seems to be real from what I can tell. Okay. Yes, your question, Double M.
So is that unnamed town, village, city, whatever, north of Slaverton supposed to be unnamed?
North of Slaverton?
East of Oslo,
Yeah.
north of Slaverton.
Little tiny place.
Correct, I believe.
Okay.
Let me double check the master map.
Be right
that,
back, Washer.
that has bugged me for a bit now. It's like, what the fuck is that been called?
Slum and Slaverton. Ah, yes. If it has a name, it is not showing on the older maps.
Okay.
So that's bugged you for a while, has it now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, it's is Gina back?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so yet either. So I'm gonna wait for him to get back in. Then I think I'm gonna close the session for the night because it's 3 minutes till 11.
Yep.
And y'all have pushed outside of what I've
Yes.
got generated.
Back.
And
Mhm.
welcome back. So let's see here. Let me double check things. Timeline. I'm going to put it at. Oh, I got to be precise there because it took exactly that long for the rumors and gossip that y'all have acquired. Mead campaign. No, not the Mead campaign. Timeline. The Hans campaign. Okay. So this is day 194. Let me be all the way. Year 2609. Day 194. And it is this time. Party is at the Happy Clam in Oslo. Hearing rumors about stuff.
Is this the end of session?
Yep.
Yeah. Because if you are going after this thing, I really need to put a little bit of work into it.
Oh, yeah.
No problem.
Dungeon Master, I tend to let you know my intentions so you have plenty of time and foresight.
Okay. So yeah, I hate calling it an hour early, Gina, but
No problem.
you know, we've been in an area where I had things figured out to a greater extent, and y'all have moved to the edge of that.
Sorry.
So I need to do a little prep work to have a smooth, good campaign. Hope y'all enjoyed the giant squid. That was out of the creature catalog. They're only 6 hit dice.
Damn.
Nice.
You'd think the
And they
creature
showed
catalog
them-
would have given them 20 or something.
Something. So I need to compare that to Monster Manual because I'm sure it's in there and see what it says. Because here's a thing that can do structural damage to a ship. PQ.
And we killed it with 2 hits.
Well, ballista hits to be sure. Squid, giant. Hit dice, 12. It's double that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess y'all got a baby one or some shit like that. So 6 hit dice, 12 hit dice. Yeah, definitely better. I'm sure most of the rest of it is. Giant squid's body is protected by a hard shell, so its armor class is 3, but its tentacles and head are but armor class 7. That doesn't make sense. The head and the body are the same thing.
Yep. So yeah,
Anyhow.
Dungeon Master, I have a thing typed up. I'm waiting for Endisesh.
The party did not get experience from that fight as y'all didn't do shit. The crew actually held it off. End of session.
We rolled the dice.
Yeah. Okay. And the fans in the stadium waved and cheered. And yeah, they should get a Heisman ring too.
Yes.
Going to keep an ear out for a few more rumors. We'll probably follow up on those missing people from that village. 1 day travel on the North Road. I suspect we'll spend a day or two more in Oslam. Did I spell it with 2 O's or an O and an A?
Let me poke at the map. So you've typed it in text with an A, but on the map it's with an O, so it's probably a regional dialect thing, isn't it? Oslom versus Oslam.
You know what? I will go to a list that I have definitely neat handwriting on.
It's like Salsa Lisa.
Yep, that's double O.
Double O.
Double M was correct. It's double O. Which means I need to edit that shit. And where did I write that? In timeline?
I believe so.
Did I? Oh, yeah. And I put it in common info.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dungeon Master, you can remove Donkey's triage from the triage channel too.
You're right. I need to do that. Okay. So yeah, sorry I'm cutting it short tonight, guys, but I want to make sure I get all these details right and not screw anything up, because this should be an interesting fucking thing if y'all go for this. And I definitely want to, yeah, epic shit, maybe. So I hope y'all had fun tonight.
I did. I was able to take my horses with me. I was pretty happy.
Yeah.
See, I've had characters in the past where I always went with light riding horse. So if I needed to cross water, it's like, all right, sell this one, buy a new one when I get to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as to the journey that Grest had to take from the more central and northern parts of the campaign world to the west, as I had the Balachatherium at the time, yeah, because there weren't any ships that could carry Spot across the Great Snake's Tongue River. Yeah, no, that didn't work. That was an interesting journey. All right, I can mark these out. Yeah, I maxed that giant squid out too, and at 48 hit points. Oh, I shot it for 16. I shot it for 32. Oh, fuck, they just killed it. Just before I could start attacking crew and party with tentacles. Okay, so now that we're in, trying to keep our options open, I don't mind if things get worse.